We are live inside Labatt Memorial Park here in downtown London. This is London Majors baseball here on MajorsTV. A continuation of this game from June the 21st. The Welland Jackfish are in town to take on the host London Majors. We welcome you up to the Game Day London broadcast booth for the BP8 Fitness pregame show. Noah Smith alongside Tyler Middleton tonight. And Tyler, this game continues off after a month of no play. We'll start in the bottom of the second inning. You've played for a long time. In situations like this, it's got to be tough when you have to pick things up after a month off.
First of all, thank you for having me back in. It's great to have the Smitty-Mitty duo back together once again in the booth. Yeah, a weird situation, especially for a pitcher for the Jackfish coming in. 1 ball, 2 outs. In the bottom of an inning, never pitched in the IBL before. So a very strange situation, but I'm glad we can get this in. Couldn't get in yesterday, and it's a beautiful day down here in downtown London. Originally
scheduled, as you mentioned, for last evening, and the rain just absolutely pounded the London region all morning long, so they canceled the game fairly early. Moved it, fortunately enough, when you look at it in terms of scheduling this late in the season, to this evening. And we've got some gorgeous weather here. It's a little bit hot. It's a little bit humid for us bigger fellas up in the booth, but we're going to make it through tonight as the Majors take on the Jackfish here in a continuation of this game. It will be the bottom of the second inning. There are 2 outs on the board, and as you mentioned, a 1-0 count here. Starling Joseph is the batter for the Majors, and he will continue there as well. Let's check out the starting pitcher matchup here if we can. Here is what we have as the starting pitchers, and once again, this is for the continuation. Back on June 21st, it was Jose Arias against Enrique Saldana, the matchup. That inning, they only got about 2 innings apiece. Now Jonathan Henry will take over for the Majors, and then Teodoro Ortega, as you mentioned there, for the Jackfish. We don't have a whole lot on him. This is his first appearance, and he comes in here. Well, he's already got 2 outs in the inning.
A much better situation for Henry, obviously getting to come with a clean inning, almost like he started this game. But for Ortega, this is going to be a strange situation. Coming in, already got a ball on the batter. You're probably a little bit of nerves, even though I'm sure he's played many places before. It's still a little bit nervous in your first IBL start, and he's going to have to go and try and get 1 out to go sit down to come back up. Going to be a weird up and down. It's going to be part of this weird game we're going to have to take in for the next couple hours.
Yeah, he's going to try and get through, obviously, this first out, and then give himself, if you will, a clean slate to start in the third inning. We are continuing on with this game, so there are some lineup changes. We'll touch on those in a little bit when we look at the home and visiting lineups, but we will say 0-0 score, and you said the 1-0 count, but there's nobody on base. So in terms of restarting a game, it is a fairly clean break there. 1 more out, we would have been at another half inning, but that's not when the weather hit back in the end of June, so that's what we have to deal with here tonight. The umpiring crew, Justin Snively is the crew chief and home plate umpire. He's joined by Steve Cochran and James Deacon on the bases. Local crew here for a midweek contest here at the Forks in downtown London. We are moments away from first pitch, so we'll go ahead and take a break for the national anthems. You're watching London Majors Baseball. This has been the BP8 Fitness pregame show. Functional training for everybody.
London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Anthem complete here in downtown London, and we are moments away from, well, can I even call it first pitch, Ty? It is going to be the bottom of the second inning when we get underway shortly here at Labatt Park. Thank you for joining us here on Majors TV for our coverage tonight of this ball game. Finally looking like we get to complete this thing after, well, over a month of waiting since the rain came back on June the 21st. Let's take a look at the home lineup here. Here's what the London Majors are sending out. Now, they will be starting with Starling Joseph, who is now moved over to right field. He will be coming to the plate with 2 outs, 1-0 count, bottom of the second inning. But there are some changes here. Ty Mosher is into the game at shortstop and in the leadoff spot, as well as Drew Lawrence, who is now in left field, and Brad Verhoeven, who is taking over for the DH spot that was Cleveland Brownlee. So a few changes here, and then as we mentioned, the starting pitcher as well, Jonathan Henry, taking over on the hill for London.
Not too bad of a situation to be throwing Drew Lawrence into your lineup. When you didn't have him a month ago, that's going to be fun to watch. And I can't say this enough, how strange of a situation this is with the Jackfish taking the field as they are warming up for what could be a very quick top-bottom, quick first pitch, first couple pitches.
Yeah, it's always weird. We start the broadcast, and oh, there goes the visiting team out onto the field. Our scoreboard pops up onto the screen. It reaches the bottom of the second. No, you didn't miss the start to this ball game. Well, maybe you did. It was back in June when we got things going here in this contest. The IBL, of course, some rain last night. There were no games. All 3 of them on the docket got canceled due to the weather that moved through southwestern and midwestern Ontario. So no games. That still puts 3 games on the calendar for a night. There are some teams here, Tyler. Welland's one of them. They are kicking off 5 games in 5 nights. It is an absolute gauntlet part of the schedule, and they're certainly hoping a guy like Ortega, new arm on the hill, can give him some length to open up this ball game.
It is going to be integral for Ortega to give these guys a little bit of length, as you know, we're not dealing with the major leagues where you can just call somebody up, you can just bring somebody else in that's going to get you a couple extra innings when you have 5 and 5 or 5 and 6 or whatever it is. These are the guys you have. They're not usually a super deep pitching rotation for guys who can even get you into the 90, 100 pitches. So it's going to be very important for Ortega to get through at least 5, 6 of these and get us into the late part of this game.
Yeah, the benefit, of course, is that he's 1 out away from getting into the 3rd inning, so he'll take that with him here. He's got a 1-0 count as Starling Joseph strolls to the plate. He was at the plate when the weather hit, and if my memory serves correct, it was some lightning that first got the attention of the umpiring crew. The rain wasn't far behind. That halted that game and eventually put it on the books and sent us away for the evening. Just an inning and 2/3 into that ball game, and Ortega's first pitch will miss low, and the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes here to open up our contest.
We are in no danger tonight of any kind of weather taking this game away. A gorgeous sunny night in downtown London. A little warm, but we'll deal with that over lightning and rain.
Went to the breaking ball, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes. It's a little bit humid. We mentioned the kind of hot and heavy weather here. And after just 2 pitches now, Ortega gets greeted with the ball 4 chance from the ball flowers down in row 3. And now that one's fouled off by Joseph. He'll get himself back into the count at 3-1 now.
I can guarantee you that is the fastest 3-ball count Ortega's ever got himself in.
2 pitches, and I find myself in danger of walking a guy.
Not a guy you'd love to walk either.
Gathers his sign from catcher Robert Mullen, the former Major. Now comes to the plate. This one hit on the ground to shortstop. Dupuis is up with it. His throw over to one is in time. And how about that? A fairly quick start to our ball game here. The Majors go in order at the bottom of the second inning. And we are scoreless through 2. We're going to head to break. Baseball continues here on Majors TV after this.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park as we get set to continue on with this game. Moving along to the top of the third inning as Jonathan Henry continues with his warm-up pitches. Let's check out the lineup for the visiting Welland Jackfish. You see it there on your screen. Gianfranco Morello is the leadoff man in the ball game, followed by Jonah Weisner. He's one of the new names in the lineup here for Welland since the last time this game was played. Steven Moretto, Robert Mullen, Mateo Porcelato, and Grayson Barrett right through the middle and heart of that Jackfish order, followed by Tyler Dupuis, Dawson Tweet, and Ethan Hunt round out the bottom of the lineup. It'll be Ethan Hunt to lead things off here for the Jackfish, bottom of their order to kick things off here in the top of the third inning. Henry gets ready to throw his first pitches of this game. As mentioned, did not start back when this game began in June. Misses with the first pitch, and it's ball one. And now this one chopped on the ground over to third base. Osika, strong throw across the diamond, and in time to get the speedy Hunt, and there's one down.
Very good play by Osika there. That ball took a large hop on its first hop. He had to kind of sit back on his back foot, wait for it, did a very good job at being planted. So when he was able to make that catch, just a quick, strong throw, and got the runner Hunt at first by maybe a step or two.
Those ones are never easy because, well, the ball, it kind of plays your hand. You've got to wait back on it, and he came up with a strong throw to get the 9-hitter. Now back to the top of the order, and Gianfranco Morello. First pitch to Morello there will miss for ball one. He opened up the ball game back in June with a strikeout looking with Jose Arias on the mound. It's part of a 1-2-3 first inning for the Majors starter. Now 2-0 as that one misses outside.
Very interesting there as Osika moved in after the first pitch, right to the cut of the grass, expecting maybe some small ball play, and after one pitch moves back to what we call normal death as look out. That pitch comes in high and tight.
3 straight wide ones here after getting the first batter fairly quickly. Moves the count to 3-0 here on Morello. Danger of putting him on with one out here in the inning. And will miss low there. And Morello is aboard here, a 4-pitch walk. We'll put him on base with one out here in the inning.
Very early in our night, maybe a little deeper in this actual ball game, but Henry really needs to find himself. He's only made one pitch that I would call kind of close to the strike zone, and it was bounced to third base. Other than that, he's been very herky-jerky, very all over the place. Really needs to calm down, focus in, and find that strike zone. It's important here to get ahead. It's important to every batter. Really important right here to get ahead quick.
Jonah Weisner, the batter. Runner not going. That one will miss off the plate. And 5 straight misses for Henry. He is keeping an eye on Morello over at first base. The speedy leadoff man not going here as this one catches the inside corner. It's 1-1.
Morello definitely looks kind of antsy out there, taking some good hard steps, not stopping his feet. A guy who you can tell is looking to run and has run in the past. Is a guy who knows what he's doing on that base path.
Half foot shy of the cut of the grass on the lead as that one misses inside. And once again, just kind of struggling to find the zone here is Henry.
But at this point, why would you run yourself into an out when Henry really hasn't showed any inkling of being able to find that strike zone?
Ready on the 2-1. And looks over to first. That one picked by Cardoso over at 1. Saves it from going towards the fence. 9 total pitches so far for Henry, just 2 of them for strikes.
And one of them was put in play, one of those strikes.
Jackfish batters patient at the plate as they await the strikes. Here's 2-1 and looks back over to first base. Without a slide and in standing is Morello.
Not to pick on him anymore, but even those 2 throws over to first really didn't find the mark there. One pick and one having to lunge off by Cardoso to kind of save him there. So he's really got to calm down here.
Extra half step here for Morello. And now time called at the plate. Weisner was able to get the time call before the pitch made its way through, and it stays at 2-1. Usually you hope when you pick off that it backs the runner up a bit. There's a strike thrown by Henry, and it's 2-2. It has not done that for Morello. The 2 pickoff moves, backing, standing up, have actually moved his lead a half step more. Henry looks now, grabs his sign here on 2-2. There goes the runner. This one put in play. Foul territory. Osika there to make the catch. Can he get the throw to 1 in time? No. It's offline. Cardoso had to come off the bag as Morello scrambled back to first base.
Kind of a smart move by the Majors. If we go back 2 pitches before, Henry threw a slider after just pounding fastballs for ball. You change it up. You get a new grip. You get a new location, somewhere new that you release that baseball. That slider maybe just helps him find his release point, makes a good fastball, gets a good pop out, and gets him to 2 outs in this inning. A very, very smart veteran move by the Majors there.
Has had success when he's let the Jackfish put it in play so far. Ground out and then a pop out in foul territory. That one misses inside. Morello did run on the pop out to third base. This one chopped over. Pitcher there, Henry. He'll take it himself. And it is a fairly quick top of the 3rd inning for Jonathan Henry, keeping the Jackfish off the scoreboard here through 3.
We've got half an inning left. Kids who want to run the bases, please come and line up right here near the 3rd base rim. An important message from Matt and London.
Handshakes there for the Majors. A good start to the game here. And now they'll head to the bats in the bottom of the 3rd. Try and get our first runs of the game. Still no score here in London. Once again, if you're joining us, this is a continuation of a rainout on June the 21st. Was rescheduled to play last night. That also got rained, and here we are on a Wednesday, finally trying to get this game in.
Eventually it was going to happen. You knew eventually they're going to be able to get it in. After that top half of that last inning, the 3rd there, that's something the Majors kind of need to build on a little bit, as Henry didn't look great, didn't throw a lot of strikes, but you know what? He was able to get out of it fairly unscathed with almost no wrinkles. You need to take that, go out, get some runs, build off that, give him a little bit of energy, a little bit of momentum heading back out to that mound. Just clear his head maybe a little bit, but one of those things where the Jackfish helped you out. Now go out and take that lead real quick.
It'll be Brad Verhoeven leading things off here for the Majors, followed by Gibson Kurzminski and Champ Garner. 7, 8, 9 in the Majors order. Here in the bottom of the third. They have gone in order so far through the first 2 innings here of this ball game. Of course, we've only seen the one batter tonight for London. It is not nearly as busy of a weekend for the Majors. They play tonight here against the Jackfish. They are off tomorrow before heading to Hamilton on Friday. Welland on Saturday. Sunday's a day off, and they will host Chatham on the holiday Monday. So not a 5-5 like Welland, but still gets themselves a fairly busy weekend.
Listen, long way to go here. But do you count this as a combined no-no through 2 for the Jackfish?
Why not?
I guess.
In the books, it would be.
Not that that's rare territory for any team, but
we were making jokes before we came on the air tonight about how we were going to start the broadcast by saying it closed the books on Enrique Saldana's start.
A great start, though.
As soon as someone threw a pitch tonight, it was going to be the books closed on him. Innings in 2/3, no runs, no hits. It's the new, what do they call those, openers now? You come in, you start the game for me. That's all I need you to do. That one's going to miss. Down, move the count to 2-1.
Only the best pitchers can be openers, Noah.
Verhoeven here, left-hand bat, trying to get aboard here to begin the inning. Inside. And now 2-1 here to Verhoeven.
I like what I've seen so far from Ortega. A very lively arm. Nice, calm mechanics, nothing too crazy.
Stares that one right down the plate, and it's 2-2.
Some good pop to that fastball.
Verhoeven now will have to battle with 2 strikes. To the plate, Verhoeven over top of the first baseman's head and flares it into right. And he's going to hold at 1. It's a leadoff base hit here in the bottom of the third for Brad Verhoeven.
Thinking out of the box there was Verhoeven heading for 2 as he got to first. That ball just died on the grass. Wasn't hit very hard, but was hit in the perfect location where there was no chance any Jackfish was going to get to it. But closing very quick was the right fielder and holding Verhoeven to just that single bag.
Spoke too soon on that combined no-no, did we?
It was at that point a combined no-no.
It's always tough when you got the game continuations. Verhoeven will take it. First hit of the game for the Majors is aboard to lead off the bottom of the third. Bottom of the order trying to get things going here for London as that one will miss low to Gibson Kurzminski.
So I guess for both these pitchers, this would count as a relief appearance?
In the books, it would.
So there's no inning limit towards a win for either of these pitchers? Just leave the mound with the lead?
That one called a strike and moves the count to 1-1.
All we're going to do all night, I think, is just point out the weird things. We're going to see how many times we can say weird and point out the strange things that are happening in tonight's game.
Well, truthfully, it's just one of those things that happens in a game like this. We all showed up to the booth today, and we're trying to figure out what we do and don't do, what is the situation for a continuation of a game. If someone started the game and isn't in the start of this game, are they out of the lineup? Stuff like that that you have to figure out as you get to the ballpark on a night like tonight.
And stuff, it brings up more stuff that we might get into later with the whole Danny Jansen and the Blue Jays situation when they're heading back to Boston here in a couple weeks. And Danny Jansen has the opportunity to play on both teams, as he was the hitter at record when the game was called, and now he will probably be the catcher of record for the other team.
Yeah, it's always interesting, right? Because on paper it's the same game, so
he was pulled and added to the exact same game. I don't know how that works.
Loophole in the MLB ruling system is a strong swing right through that one by Kurzminski, moves the count to 2-2. Ortega with some pop on that fastball early that we're seeing here.
You can tell the Majors are just trying to settle in. Obviously, the first time they're seeing him. So they're just trying to get a handle on what's happening here. A little bit late on the fastball there.
And a swing and a miss. Right past Kurzminski, and there's one gone here in the inning.
That was a great fastball by Ortega. Well located, good zip on it. It seemed like it maybe had a little extra, a little extra giddy up, reached back for that strikeout. But a well located pitch as well. Not just harder, but well located, and swung right through for the first out of this inning.
So now to the bottom of the Majors order in Champ Garner as he stares at that first pitch fastball for strike one.
Pitch might have been a bit in. Tough to tell from up here, but definitely with the reaction of the hitter, it looked like he definitely thought it might have been in off the plate. Strike one, nonetheless.
Ortega looks, comes to the plate. Breaking ball hit down the line and foul. Needed to keep it fair. Down the line, was unable to garner, and now he's in an 0-2 hole.
Times like this, kind of wish we had a radar gun in the building, because that was a slow looping curveball that clearly did its job, getting Gardner on its front foot and just pulling it into foul territory. But there was a noticeable speed difference between the fastball and that curveball.
0-2, we'll see what they come back with. Fastball to the plate, and Garner able to get a piece of it. Stays alive.
Give Mullen a second here as he readjusts his mask, as that ball was fouled right back off the side of that mask. The advantages of having the two-piece mask is that one kind of slides a little bit versus the one piece that gets you really hard and will shake your head a little bit.
Misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The IBL signing deadline just happened. So Ortega, a guy that the Jackfish were able to pick up, sneak in there before the deadline happened now 2 days ago. Former Rangers farmhand, so has some experience playing an affiliated ball, and now he gets a strikeout there. They had to appeal to first, and they say that Garner went around for the strikeout.
I don't know about that one. Again, tough to tell up here. Definitely has the first base umpire definitely has the better angle at that, but certainly from where I was sitting, didn't look like he really even got close to going. But we don't have a replay, so we're just going to have to trust what he says.
Garner didn't have much of an argument on his way back to the dugout, so even if he did think that he held up, he thought that he might have got fooled just enough to start the swing. So the Majors in danger of stranding the leadoff single. This one is fouled back. Ty Mosher at the plate now, back to the top of this Majors order.
Definitely one that Mosher is going to want back. That was a fastball that was belt high, inside part of the plate. That's one you can deposit downtown London with a good swing.
0-1 here as Ortega grabs the sign from Mullen. Quick look to one. Now comes to the plate, and that one's going to get away from the catcher, Mullen. Verhoeven got a good jump, but he's only going to be able to get up and around second base before he's being held there. Now into scoring position, though, with 2 outs here in the inning.
That's a big fortunate play for the Majors there. Is that it was just a fastball that was spiked by Ortega, maybe a couple inches behind the plate, and Mullins just wasn't able to slide his body over there. Gets by him. That's a huge 90 feet for the Majors, as you mentioned now, runner in scoring position.
Now a hit away from taking a 1-0 lead here in this game. Ortega's 1-1 delivery. Delivers, and this one fouled off down the first base line. One and 2 count here against the Majors' leadoff hitter. Ortega made it as far as low A ball. Career minor leagues at an ERA under 3. Just could not climb the ladder in the Rangers system. Now looking for a chance to help the Jackfish to back-to-back titles here in the IBL, as that one's fouled off and out of play.
Another one Mosher might want back, because another fastball center cut was in the drivable location for a left-handed hit, right where lefties love it. Lefties have this natural uppercut, and if you can get a fastball on the inside part, maybe belt high, you catch it out front, that ball is going to fly for almost every lefty.
1-2 off the plate, and the count evens up here. Mosher waiting here. He's trying to get a pitch in another spot that he can drive. Ortega's done a good job at mixing up the locations and the speed so far. I wonder if they come back to that fastball here again on 2-2. Inside, drilled over to first base, picked up on a hop by Moretto and knocks it down and takes it for the out to retire the Majors, who get a hit here in the bottom of the third, but they can't move the runner past second base. It's a scoreless game here in London after 3 complete on Majors TV.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter with Nutter's Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Welcome back here to London Majors Baseball and Majors TV. The youngsters outrunning the bases here as we move along to the top of the 4th inning. This is the earliest they've been able to run the bases in a while here with our bottom of the 2nd inning start tonight. I don't know, is it 8 o'clock? Yeah, it's 8:06. So
a very good number of kids here tonight. I didn't expect that many on a fairly late Wednesday, last minute start. Actually, a fairly decent crowd all around for the London Majors on what would have been a rescheduled game.
It was always in question, both last night and, of course, when things got moved from last night to tonight, what the crowd would be. Of course, there's certainly the Majors faithful that are going to be out here no matter when you put the game. It's Sunday morning at 9, and there might be some fans that wouldn't miss it for anything. But like you mentioned, good amount of youngsters out. If I don't know, you're a parent, you tell me. This seems like a slam dunk of a game to bring the kids to. Already the bottom of the 2nd inning. This game's shorter than it normally is, and maybe I get to see the whole thing without having to be here for 3 hours.
Sure, but I also have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old who are usually in bed for about an hour by now. So if I want to have a terrible next day, maybe I can bring them down to the ballpark.
Out. You need the afternoon starts.
We've been out to a couple afternoon starts.
Much better for the kids.
The kids aren't.
The attention span's not quite there.
Yes, I
yet.
wouldn't call them into baseball yet. We took them to a Jays game as well, and we were gone by the 6th inning because I couldn't deal with it anymore. So
you pulled the plug, eh? You're just like, I gotta go. This is not working anymore.
Well, I pulled the plug early on the game. They pulled the plug early on the season, so everything works out.
Jonathan Henry back out to the hill here for London. Top of the 4th inning now. First pitch up in the zone, doesn't get the call, and it's 1-0. This is Robert Mullen. So 1 for 1 in the ball game. The base hit his first time around back in June. And now inside, and that one hits him on the left elbow. And Mullen's going to be on to lead off the top of the 4th.
Obviously the Majors know Mullen, but if they were sitting here watching the batting practice that we were, he was putting on a show. Balls flying to every part of this field. We all know he's a good hitter, but it was an impressive couple minutes when he stepped into the box there. So that might be kind of best case scenario for the Majors in this situation. Now that we know he's okay, of course.
Leadoff man in the inning, so worst he could have done is 1 run, but we know he can do that in a hurry. Instead, it'll be Mateo Porcelato. Jackfish do have the leadoff man on. That's Mullen after the hit batter. Henry to the plate and misses off the plate.
That's a couple times that the Jackfish have done that tonight, showed bunt on the first pitch. I don't know if there was any actual intent to lay a bunt down in any of the situations, but more of just change the look. A pitcher who's struggling to throw strikes already, maybe throw him off his game a little bit more, and it seemed to have worked.
Certainly didn't move Tristan Osika in over at third base, and we didn't see him square around on the second pitch. Now to the plate, and that one's going to get into right field. Wasn't hit overly hard, but right in between the first baseman and the pulled over second baseman Kurzminski. And there are 2 men aboard to kick off the 4th inning here for the Jackfish.
Bit of a tough situation for Henry there. As that ball, as you said, it fooled the hitter, Porcello, as he was just on his front foot. Kind of hit it weakly towards the first base side, but because Cardoso was holding on the runner there, he wasn't able to make his way over to that ground ball. That's going to put 2 runners on early in this inning. Now another situation where Henry's got to pitch himself out of.
First pitch to Barrett will miss outside. Trying to go off speed there. Slipped out of the hand on the release. It's 1-0.
And that can happen on hot days like this. You're going to be sweating a lot. You're not going to have a great grip. I don't see a rosin bag on the mound. Might be a little hard for the pitchers early in this game to get a grip before the baseballs are kind of worked in a little bit, especially those new balls.
Misses outside. Grayson Barrett's got a 2-0 count here. Henry continuing to try and find the zone. Now 3-0.
And I'm not saying we're there yet, but at what situation, as the London Majors, are you starting to stir that bullpen?
6 strikes to 15 balls so far for Henry. And 4 straight wide ones here. Has loaded the bases for the Jackfish here in the top of the 4th.
You're definitely going to need a mound visit here, and that's what's going to happen as we see the pitching coach for the London Majors making his way out to just have a conversation, calm him down a bit. And as we speak, smarter than we look, Noah, the bullpen is starting to stir.
At least some movement down there in the London Majors bullpen for the first time here tonight. Brent Wales, the pitching coach, comes out to have a word with Jonathan Henry. At this rate, you know he's got probably at least 2, maybe 3 batters before they can get anybody going. There's a shot of the Majors bullpen. Looks like Jared Lund will get loose here for the Majors.
And it doesn't look like he's slowly getting ready either. He's getting ready with a purpose.
He's trying to get that arm going here. And in a hurry. Hit batter, base hit to right, and then a 4-pitch walk is how this top of the 4th inning is started. And in a hurry, the Jackfish are in a good spot. Caught the outside edge. 0-1.
Maybe a bit of a generous strike there on the outside corner, but if you're Henry, you're going to take anything you can get right now.
Tyler Dupuis looking to try and find a hit to open up the scoring here. Henry way wide, and that one's going to skip past the catcher DeOlio all the way to the backstop. And the Jackfish are on the board here. It's 1-0. A wild pitch sends everybody 90 feet and a run across the board.
Obviously, I haven't been here this year. I haven't seen Henry throw. Is this, you'll know a little bit better, is this kind of a normal situation, or is command usually locked in?
Certainly hasn't been like he's started this game so far. Usually has things dialed pretty good. That one is going to be fouled off. Count moves to 1-2. We talked about how, weird of a start this game was, but he still did get a clean slate and a clean inning to begin things here tonight. The 1-2. Broken bat into center field. In to score comes Porcelato. Barrett is held at third base. They didn't want to risk it. But moving up on the throw is Dupuis. And it's a 2-0 Welland lead.
Not a great play there by Gardner. As that ball was softly hit up the middle, it definitely broke the bat of the hitter, just lands in center field. There is really no reason to airmail that throw. That throw needs to go to a cutoff. You need to keep that double play in order and keep the runner at first base, as you know the long throw into home plate allows Dupuis to easily jog into second base.
Inside, just narrowly missing, hitting the batter Dawson Tweet. Count moves to 1-0. Still nobody out here in this top of the fourth inning.
You know, for the two pitchers where this should have been a strange situation, I wouldn't expect Henry would have been the one. As you mentioned, he got a clean slate. He got a new inning.
Has pitched in 11 games so far this season, 19 innings pitched, a 3.31 ERA. So certainly unlike him to struggle as much as he has. The 2-0 pitch will find the zone, and it's 2-1.
And you can see the frustration on Henry's face, but at the same time, you know, not getting that last strike by the home plate umpire. But at the same time, when you've been so erratic at the plate, you're not likely to get those close calls from the umpire.
Well, you and I both know career pitchers, it's some days you just don't have it, and it's tough to find it. 3-1. Fouled down the left field line, and we'll get into the seats out of play.
And it's almost like less frustration from Henry towards the umpire and more frustration towards himself. He's almost begging for a strike. Like, help me out a little bit here. I'm trying to battle. I'm trying to find something. And when I don't get those close calls, it just feels like the whole world's going against you.
3-2, looking for a big pitch here, and it goes behind the batter. In to score comes Barrett on a walk and another wild pitch that scores a run and makes it 3-0 Welland.
And that's going to be it for Henry, I would assume. As yes, here comes Roop manager to make the pitching change as the second mound visit of the inning. To be honest, that pitch was nowhere close.
So we are going to get a pitching change. And we'll see who it is out of the pen. Jared Lund was warming up for the Majors, and it looks like it will be him coming into the ball game. We've got a pitching change brought to you by Throw London coming up here from Labatt Park.
Hey everybody, my name is Big Will. I'm from Throw London. We do league play here. You can do recreational league, or we call it the beer league here, or you can do professional league, and that's what we do on these targets right here. And if you're lucky enough to win this league, you get yourself one of these, and you compare yourself to anybody else around the world that throws in these leagues. Maybe make it on ESPN as a pro thrower. Who knows? But come down to Throw London. We'll take care of you.
Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park as the London Majors have made a move on the mound. Jonathan Henry pulled from the ball game, and they're going to turn things over here to the lefty Jared Lund. So far this season for the Majors has appeared in 7 games, 11 2/3 innings pitched, ERA at 5.40. But he's being tasked here. What we'll call this cleanup duty, Tyler. Runners on the corners, nobody out, already 3 runs across. Throw strikes is task number 1.
Exactly. If I was Roop on that mound when you make that call, as soon as he gets to the mound, the only thing I'm telling him is fill up the zone. That's all we need right now. There is nothing worse for a team when it's walk after walk or ball after ball. You can't get into a rhythm, especially as an infielder. You're not anticipating a ball in play. You're anticipating a ball at the plate. So it's really hard to get into some kind of rhythm. So the only job here by Lund is to just throw some strikes. Fill up the zone, make the Jackfish put the ball in play. If they get hits, they get hits.
So Lund, first pitch in the air. Is there room down the line? It's going to be a tough play. Osika over into the bullpen, and Mosher, the shortstop, was there into a slide. That is a tough place to try and come up with a catch around the bullpen mound. 3 guys converged, and it falls on the dirt.
Definitely looks like the bullpen mound kind of played a factor into that play, but it looked like Osika was over there and had a beat on that fly ball, and maybe Mosher called him off at the last second. It kind of looked like somebody called him off and he tried to move out of the way. You just got to let your third baseman make the catch there. The shortstop has priority if he can get there. He has a better angle at the ball. He can see it. But if you are not sure you can camp under that baseball, at least let the guy who's there have the opportunity to make the play.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Osika was there. He was in the area. The ball falls, and it's an 0-1 count. Lund checks. Now delivers a slow breaking ball to the plate, and it's 0-2.
That's a phenomenal pitch there. Not only was the speed change a factor there, also the location. Great little curveball on the inside part, catching the inside corner.
So 0-2 here. Lund way ahead of the batter as Hunt awaits the 0-2 pitch. This one in the dirt, throw down, and not in time, and a run comes in to score. They went for the out. Dupuis was sent right away from third, and the Jackfish take a 4-0 lead.
Good strong throw there by D'Olio. Right on the money. It's just, Tweed had a good jump. He went on first pitch. You have to on a lefty on first movement. And a strong throw just wasn't able to get it. And as you mentioned, Dupuis taking off. And the Majors probably doing the right thing there, just playing for an out. Try to get yourself an out in this inning. You would have allowed yourself, nobody on, 1 out, even if that run scores.
One curveball falls out of the bottom of the zone.
But kind of interesting as, when the bases were loaded in that little blue pit that went over second base. I didn't mention it at the time, but the Majors were playing in. They were playing to cut off that run at home versus trying to get an out. And now all of a sudden they decide to try and get that out at second base and let that run score.
2-2 delivery from Lund, and that one's going to drill the batter. Hunt is aboard as the Majors still look for that first out of the inning.
And this is just unraveling for the Majors here. You get yourself up 2 strikes after some really good pitches, a ball that probably should have gotten out over by the bullpen, and maybe something that could have turned into an out at second base, and instead a hit by pitch scores a run, or a hit by pitch, moves your 2-strike Hunt over to first base, and now you got 2 on, still nobody out.
So the Majors looking for that, pleading for that first out here in the 4th. And now another ball that gets away. Runners up 90 feet apiece on the ball that looked like a chance to catch for D'Olio, but just got away from him on the far glove side.
And that's a bit of the problem with the relaxed, 1 knee down low stance. You have to really make sure you stab that glove over to your glove side. You got to really focus on getting it down there.
It is ruled a pass ball. Another one low in the dirt. D'Olio blocking 2 balls and no strikes.
So you see a visible difference there, because that being a curveball, D'Olio was expecting it to be in the dirt. He was ready to get his body over there. The last pitch being a fastball, probably in about the same location. He wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared to get his body over there, tried to just use the glove, and it sneaks by you. So it just shows the difference in the pitches and the mindset towards the catcher. A very good job there by D'Olio to get his body over and keep it in front of him, keep that runner at second and third.
Lund skips one, and that one gets past D'Olio. A 5-run inning before the Majors can record an out here in the 4th. On another wild pitch.
I almost don't like when what you speak comes to fruition, because that next pitch, again, was a fastball almost in the same location. D'Olio wasn't ready, wasn't able to get his body over there, and that's going to cost the Majors another run, and it's going to send another pitcher down to the bullpen to get warm.
in there for a strike on 3-0. Hit on the ground, over to first base, but foul. So from 3-0, he's worked it back to a full count at 3-2. But now we'll look to try and find a put-away pitch for the first out here of the inning.
Huge pitch here coming up from Lund. You really need to go after him. I don't care if he gets a hit. You just can't walk him. You got to throw something near the strike zone and allow your team to get that all-important first out of this inning.
3-2. Hit in the air. Shallow right field. Coming on is Starling Joseph into a dive, and he's not going to be there in time. The ball drops. Run comes in to score as the throw gets away. And another run comes in to score here for the Jackfish.
Just unfortunate. Joseph didn't get the best jump at that. It almost looked like he thought it was going to carry a little more, and it did. And once he realized he had to come in hard at that, he just wasn't able to make up that ground. Jumps into the stretch. Right thing to do. Try and get that ball. And just wasn't able to get all the way to it. Another really unfortunate situation for the Majors here. It's not that I'm not saying they've helped themselves out here. They've had a rough inning on the mound. But at the same time, we've had 2 or 3 little blue pits that could have easily been out.
6 runs across, 3 hits in the inning for Welland. And now that one will miss outside. Action in the bullpen for London. Jacob Foster throwing another left-handed arm.
At this point, I'm sure they're just looking down the dugout and just begging somebody that can come in and throw me some strikes and get me some outs. Please put your hand up.
(1-0) here from Lund. Off the plate, 2-0. And now I'd like to say he's fared a bit better, but on 13 pitches, still just 5 strikes for Lund. No outs on the board here for London in what has really turned into an ugly top of the 4th inning. Down off the plate, 3 balls and no strikes. Fans trying to help out the Majors as that one catches the zone from Lund. And I'll call it a sarcastic cheer.
Never good when your home fans are sarcastically cheering you throwing a strike.
Still looking for an out. 3-1. Lund grabs the sign from DeOlio. And this one ripped over and past the diving Cardoso into right field. The wave for Morello. He'll come in to score. On the base hit by Jonah Weisner. 7-0 Jackfish. That ball, no mistake there. That one was ripped into right field.
You're in a weird situation if you're the Majors where you're almost okay with that. They earned that. They earned a hard base hit there.
Better than the alternative that they have seen through the first 6 runs of the 4th, which is now 7. And lead swelling to out-of-control numbers. Outside edge for a strike. 0-1 to Moretto.
It's just got to be demeaning out there. You're trying to find the strike zone. It's not like you are trying to throw balls out there, and all of a sudden you've got your old home crowd kind of on top of you.
Throw down to 2, not in time, and got past the second baseman, Kuzminski, before picked up by the covering shortstop, Mosher. It was a strike at the plate and a stolen base for Weisner. (0-2) count here on Moretto as the Majors still looking for the first out of the inning. Doesn't chase the breaking ball. 1-2.
Diolio having to work really hard back there. Not only is he having to side himself over to balls in the dirt, you know, there hasn't been many that have hit him right in the chest. I'm sure in this heat he is begging as well to just get some outs and get out of this inning.
Swing and a miss. Chased the breaking ball on the outside edge, and there is the first out of the fourth.
And a great sequence there by Lund. You know, fastball's in, fastball's out, little slider that starts in the outside part and ends up in the dirt. You do that sequence 2 more times, you're going to be out of this inning in 2 more hitters.
Robert Mullen, he led off this inning by getting hit on a pitch inside. His second trip to the plate here of the fourth inning, and there's still only 1 out on the board. Runner in scoring position for him at second base is Jonah Weisner, as that one is a called strike to begin the at-bat. Lund to look back at the runner in Weisner, who's dancing over there at second. And fakes now steps off the back of the mound. And now Mullen demolishes one to left field, and that one is long gone. Left over the heart of the plate for Robert Mullen. And he adds on to this already massive Jackfish lead here in the fourth.
I almost think I should buy a lottery ticket after this game, Noah, because as we talked about in the last at-bat, Mullen was putting on a show, a lot of those in batting practice. He gets a hanging curveball. He knows exactly what to do with it. And that ball was, I would say, 2/3 of the way up that light post. That ball was long gone.
So Roop Janderdan has to make his second trip of the inning. More trips to the mound than outs so far here in the fourth. And a 9-run Welland Jackfish lead will send us to the Majors bullpen. Jacob Foster will take over when we return here on Majors TV.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of Majors TV.
13 inches, part of the hide. Got the suede on the side, broken in good, so, and I got the gold on it now. It's pretty amazing, pretty special, yeah. I've always wanted one of these, so hopefully I can get a lot more in my future. The defense doesn't slump. It doesn't come and go like offense. You know, if you lock it in mentally, it's going to be there for as long as you want it to be if you stay healthy. When it breaks in nice, you want to use it for years and years and years. It's always good quality, so you can use it for years and years. I just reordered the same one.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park here on Majors TV. Thank you for joining us tonight. The continuation of this game. Noah Smith joined alongside Tyler Middleton and our crew this evening. It has been an ugly top of the fourth inning for the Majors. There's really no other way to put it. 9 Welland Jackfish runs have come across the board on 5 Welland hits. A 9-0 lead, 1 out here in the fourth.
Yeah, we were joking before that when I showed up, you asked me to come do this. I'm more than happy to sit in this booth with you. I love it. Thought it was going to be a full 9-inning game. We got here. Hey, I forgot this was a pickup game. You know, we only got 7 innings to get through. We're going to be out here early. We'll be home in time to get a good night's rest. I don't think we're working that way yet. No.
Jackfish certainly doing everything they can to make their trip to London worth it. They've put up 9 runs so far here in the fourth. The second pitching change of the inning for the Majors. And Jacob Foster is into the game with a pitch that sails over top of the head of Mateo Porcelato. Foster to the plate, popped up, shallow left field, everybody converging, and on to make the catch is Drew Lawrence, the left fielder, for the second out.
Lawrence had to come a long way for that fly ball as Mosher, the shortstop, was moving his way. That was going to be a tough play for all of them, kind of in that no-man land that we've seen multiple times tonight from the Jackfish. Lawrence took control, showed a little veteran presence there, and closed in, made the catch. 2 outs in this inning. One more. I'm sure the Majors would give anything for one more out and just get back in there, regroup themselves, and go and try and chip away at this lead a little bit.
Foster ready. Here is the first pitch upstairs to Grayson Barrett. Scored already this inning on a wild pitch. Inside and low. 2 balls, no strikes here as Foster falls behind. Grabs his sign from DeOlio. Pitch delivered on the outer edge, 2-1.
I don't know if that's a cutter or if it's a slider or just a straight fastball that's got some cutting motion to it, but it's noticeable from up here. Maybe a good 2 to 3 inches of cut away from the left-handed hitter.
Almost looks to be the natural movement kind of on his overhand fastball. Got a swing and a miss there from Barrett, and it's 2-2. Grabs his sign and delivers. Breaking ball outer edge, doesn't get the call. Switches it up there. Took a lot off on that curveball.
Ball's definitely outside, but still doesn't mean it was a bad pitch. Good curveball there. Setting up what should be this fastball on the inside part to try and get out of this.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Fouled off at the plate, pardon me. Getting a piece of it there was Barrett. Count stays at 3-2. Fouled off again. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Foster working well here. Trying to get the Majors out of this disastrous top of the 4th inning. And a 3rd straight foul off there by Barrett.
The Jackfishes won't go away in this inning, no matter how much everyone in this building wants them to. They just keep fouling balls off. They keep fouling balls back and just making this go longer and longer and longer.
3-2 pitch will miss low, and a pretty good battle at the plate there for Grayson Barrett. Has worked himself a 2-out walk.
Can't really even blame Foster for that there. You know, he made some good pitches before. Barrett was able to just fight him off, and eventually you're going to be able to find that ball for a really good at-bat there by Barrett. But here we are in the situation again. Dupuis up. Majors looking for that 3rd out to get back into that 3rd base dugout.
Foster, the lefty, delivers to the plate, and that one's going to be fouled off out of play. This inning for London has gone sideways. They've got a big deficit, but first they got to get through and get one more out. Sounds easy, has not been easy here in the top of the 4th. Curveball upstairs. 1-2.
Not where you wanted that pitch, but almost a good waste pitch. You would much prefer it stay up there than break into the zone. Take it as a high fastball, maybe come back down with something slow.
In the air, right field, and right at Starling Joseph. The inning is over. A 32-minute top of the fourth inning for the Jackfish sees 9 runs come across against 3 London Majors pitchers. And London, a big uphill climb as we go to the bottom of 4.
It's important to not look at this as a 9-run deficit. You look at this as, a 1-run deficit every inning, maybe a 2-run deficit every inning. You chip away. You're not going to get 9 back in one at bat. That's more than likely not going to happen. Doesn't happen very often, which is why that top of the fourth inning was so strange. But if you can come out, you can put some good swings, get some batters on, get some runners out there, make it uncomfortable for Ortega, who's been throwing pretty well so far. He's been on that bench for 32 minutes or whatever you just said it has been.
Yep.
So it's going to take a while for him to get hot again. Be ready. Get up there, hit. Don't try. You can't get it back with one swing. You cannot get 9 runs back with one swing, but what you can do is get to first base and keep that line moving.
Majors will look to do so here in the bottom of the fourth inning. This is a big uphill climb, a 9-0 deficit. Ortega, you mentioned the half hour sitting on the bench and waiting to come back out here for the bottom of the fourth inning. But he does come out with a pretty big cushion. 9 runs of cushion.
Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of wiggle room here, but in the majors, maybe even the minors, you have the option to go underneath the dugout, go out to the batting cage, throw some balls, maybe even slip back to the mound if it's near where your dugout is. But in this situation, you don't have that option. You're just trying to stay loose. You're putting a sweater on, maybe using those bands, maybe trying to find a heavy ball to throw up against the wall a little bit just to stay a little bit loose. But there's not a whole lot you can do until you're able to get back on that mound. You love it. Don't get me wrong. You love to see a 9 spot get put up for you. But after 5, you're like, okay, boys, maybe we can hurry this along so I can get back out there.
It's going to be 5 this inning, 4 the next.
Exactly.
Either way, it's a 9-0 Welland lead here as we get started in the bottom of the fourth. Tristan Osika to lead things off for the Majors, and right away a fastball there from Ortega. And it is 0-1. We've talked about the strike throwing ability of Ortega versus the Majors so far tonight, as there's another one. This one swung through by Osika to put it at 0-2. And a swing and a miss. 3 straight strikes. Begins the inning for Ortega on a strikeout.
Well, it doesn't look like the 30-minute wait really affected Ortega at all. He's pounding that zone, making some good pitches, and 1, 2, 3 strikes, you are out for the first out of this bottom of the fourth.
19 strikes on 28 pitches for Ortega so far tonight has been the polar opposite of what we've seen from the Majors.
A tale of two cities so far. Did you like that? A little Shakespeare reference? I think it's Shakespeare.
I was trying to figure it out myself. You pull in Shakespeare references on a Wednesday night after a 9 spot in the top of the fourth, and then ask me if I remember if it's Shakespeare or not. 1-0 also misses outside. 2 straight wide ones here for Ortega against Caden Cardoso. Are you getting Google out? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it wasn't even close, actually. Charles Dickens.
Not the same guy.
No.
Swung on, maybe getting a piece of that one is Cardoso.
Don't tell Miss Porter, my grade 12 English teacher. She would not be happy.
Something tells me she's not watching. 2-1. Outside and off the plate there. And Cardoso now put into a pretty good count here at 3-1. If it's there, he'll probably be selective and wait for one that he can drive. If not, as you mentioned, keep the line moving and get aboard. 3-1. Big cut there on a fastball, and it's full now at 3-2.
might have expanded a little bit. That might have been low for ball 4, but instead you got to gear back up, 3-2 count. Don't expand. Don't get too anxious here.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Teodoro Ortega, and there's 2 gone.
You know, I've been fairly impressed here with what I've seen so far by Ortega. Some good velocity on that fastball, very good changeup, good slider, but also the location has been good, not just middle fastball. He's been able to find the black, find the corner, and really posing a problem for the Majors hitter so far.
Ortega grabs this sign, big leg kick from the right. He is there as he delivers a first pitch strike to Eduardo De Olio. Right through the middle of this Majors order here, trying to have himself a clean inning. Look at the breaking ball there. Called a strike on De Olio. It's 0-2.
Even if that wasn't called a strike, it looked like he definitely swung.
0-2 hole, Ortega. Look at the pace he's working with here. As this one fought off over towards first base. Long run coming over towards the fence and sliding to make the catch is Moretto. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th inning as the Majors go in order. And the Jackfish continue to lead 9-0 after 4 here at Labatt Park.
Welcome to Labatt Park in London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park, and the fans, well, it's a 9-0 Jackfish lead after 4 innings complete. They're hoping to see some London Majors offense in the continuation of this game that was rained out after an inning and 2/3 back in June. And now, well, Welland is happy they made the trip at least through 4 innings. 9-0 is the lead as we get ready to continue things on here in the top of the 5th inning.
That was quite the shirt we saw in that fan there, and it almost reminds me that at your bachelor party, we got some gorgeous shirts with your face on it, and I was very close to wearing that tonight. Very close.
You should have rocked it into the ballpark. You can never go wrong with it.
You know, I have the video of us dancing on the dugouts if you want to make sure that makes it to air.
Oh, the staff at the Buffalo Bison's game certainly were all over that as soon as they saw us walking in. First pitch missing there. Once again, squaring around the bunt, but pulling back to try and maybe gauge the infield. 1-0 delivery. That one's going to miss low as well. 2-0 here. Jacob Foster, the pitcher for the Majors, came in to retire and get the last 2 outs of the top of the 4th inning for the Majors. That one misses, and now he falls behind 3-0. I was going to talk about how of the guys we've seen tonight, he was the one who looked like he was maybe finding the zone, but now 3 straight wide ones. He's in danger of walking the leadoff hitter, and he will here on 4 straight pitches. It has been the theme of the night so far for London pitching.
And the nature of the pitching mechanics for Foster, such an overhand release that it's going to force that ball down very often. You got to have a perfect release of that baseball to make sure it finds the zone. Otherwise, that angle is just going to drag it into the dirt. And we've seen that a couple times here.
You'll see oftentimes with that kind of full overhand, you're more likely to miss down and up, right? The up-down missing in the vertical plane as opposed to missing from side to side. That one was the right plane, but missed inside. The batter now Hunt with Dawson Tweed aboard to lead off the inning. In the air. Another one that's going to be tough in foul territory. Osika there, but by the time he got there, he was going to have to try and find that ball and was unable to. Falls in the very similar spot in the Majors bullpen as we saw an inning ago.
Another tough play, but again, that mound is just playing havoc with the third baseman Osika, pardon me. He gets over there, he just can't find the baseball. You know how hard it is when you're trying to run over there. Your head's bobbing all over the place. You're trying to look back. Balls tend to, on the infield, spin back towards the infield. So you almost have to set yourself up a good 2 feet towards the infield side of that baseball. Very hard to do.
All that, and then you throw the bullpen mound into the equation.
And a whole bunch of bullpen pitchers trying to get out of the way as well.
Everybody running out of the way. That one missed. Went to the breaking ball that time.
And I think that's something the Majors haven't done quite enough of today. They've relied on the fastball when you couldn't find the strike zone. But instead, like we mentioned before, you almost have to go to these off-speed pitches.
That one is fouled off. Maybe playable back there, but DeOlio didn't react right away. And it will once again land in foul territory.
Sometimes you just get in that rhythm as a pitcher where it's you get the ball, you get a fastball, you throw a ball. You get the ball, you caught a fastball, you throw a ball. Sometimes you just need to think up there. You get the ball, you see a slider, a different release, something different that instead of thinking about that previous ball, you're now thinking about where my slider is going to go. And sometimes it just resets you. I think catchers sometimes try to go away from the off-speed when their pitchers are clearly struggling. And in my mind, that's the opposite of what you need to do. You need to go to those off-speed pitches.
2-2 as he grabs the sign. And that one's going to hit Hunt. Came inside, got the front shoulder of Ethan Hunt, and he will make his way down to first base. Another hit batter and another free pass for the Jackfish batters.
Chanderdad down in the third base dugout there, looking visibly frustrated as he stands up, sends someone else down to the bullpen, just trying to find anybody that can get them through a couple innings and give this high potent offense an opportunity to drag the Majors back into this ball game.
First pitch missing low. And now inside again. Really struggling there, and that has gotten some more action now in the Majors bullpen. It's like Skylar Janice begins to throw. As Foster looks like he's losing the zone a little bit here. Now fights back with a pitch that catches the corner. 2-1.
If Foster could maybe hone in the zone a little bit, the weirdness, the freakiness of his release would almost play to his advantage a lot with these Jackfish hitters. It'd be very hard, especially as a lefty, to pick up that straight overhand fastball.
Majors pitchers tonight, and this is if you take out Jose Arias, who started the game back in June, have only been throwing, as that one just misses off the plate, about 43% strikes.
That's not good.
And to be honest with you, that seems like that might be higher than what we've seen here. A lot of counts that have at least started 3-0. Now they have battled back on a lot of them.
My first thought was Arias must have pitched really well in the first inning and a half of that first game.
That one will miss. And ball 4 has loaded the bases with nobody out. And a look down to the Majors dugout here. I don't know if we're going to get a move right now. Is Janice ready in the bullpen? Jonah Weisner, the batter. Majors struggling on the hill. And this batter is going to be up to Jacob Foster, who's got himself into this mess. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 5th. First pitch is low to Weisner. One for 2 in the ball game. There for a strike. A fastball from Foster. The leg kick, breaking ball. Doesn't get the bite at the plate. Good eye from Weisner, 2-1.
If there's one thing Foster's done a very good job at, it's keeping that ball down. He's missed the bottom of that zone maybe 5 or 6 times, not by very much.
That one ripped into right field. Picked up by Joseph. 1 run in to score, and they are going to move station to station here on a lead that now is stretched into the double digits. It's 10-0 Welland.
And as I mentioned, a fastball that is kind of center cut. Wasn't tried. Morello didn't try to do too much with it. He just tried to get the barrel to it, and that's all you got to do when the pitcher can provide a little bit of power. He pokes it through that infield and gives himself a little RBI.
So Roop Chanardad out here, and he is going to make another pitching change. Jacob Foster will be pulled from the game, and Janice will come in. Nobody out, bases still loaded here in the top of the 5th. Jackfish leading by 10.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of MajorsTV.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park as the London Majors in trouble here. Top of the 5th inning, and Tyler, it is another move to the bullpen here for Roop Chanderdat as Skylar Janice will come on to throw here for the Majors in what is now a 10-0 deficit and trying to keep it there. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Jackfish here in the top of the 5th inning. And now Janice this season, 10 games, 14 1/3 innings pitched, all out of the bullpen, 2.51 ERA. The Majors hoping to use him, I would imagine, later on this weekend in a much more competitive environment, but they're also looking for strikes as that first pitch will miss outside.
Another strange situation for the Majors here where you could tell that they were just trying to use some pitchers to get them through this game. Almost, you're never giving up on a ball game. I don't want to say that. But sometimes you got to save some of your arms for the games that you have a higher percentage chance of winning. And it seemed like Chanardad and the Majors did not want to make this move. But at some point, you just need to get one of your leverage arms in there just simply to get you through some innings.
Janice has fallen behind 2-0. And now he'll miss upstairs. So he's struggled out of the gate. 3-0 to Stephen Moretto, the batter for Welland. And there is a strike. So Janice gets one across on his 4th pitch since coming out of the bullpen. Janice is looking to battle back from the 3-0 hole. This one popped up on the infield. Cardoso over the line and there to make the catch. One gone.
Best case situation for the Majors there is a fly ball on the infield, keeps all the runners exactly where they are while getting that one out. Now you have the opportunity for your middle infield to turn a double play and get you out of this inning with only 1 run scored. Would be, you know, a 10-run deficit's never great, but only 1 run scored in an inning that's gone like this would definitely be a little jolt of energy to this Majors team.
And Robert Mullen will stroll to the plate. His last time up, he sent the ball way out of here to left field on a hanging breaking ball from Jared Lund. Janice will get ahead. They went off speed on the outer edge. It's 0-1.
Good pitch, little slider there on the outside part. You see Mullen nodding his head in agreement, knowing that that was a pitcher's pitch, nothing he can do much with.
0-1, Janice, fastball off the outer edge. 1 ball and 1 strike here. Mullen is the batter. Morello at second, Weisner at first, and Hunt at third for the Jackfish. 1 run already across here in the inning. Janice to the plate and right back up the middle off the bat of Mullen. In to score is Hunt. Right behind him, Morello. And 2 more runs coming to score on a base hit by Robert Mullen. And it is 12-0 Jackfish.
Got the ground ball he wanted, just not in the right place as it's able to split the 3 defenders standing on the infield, including the pitcher for the Majors, right up the middle. A good piece of hitting, though, by Mullen. He's having himself quite a game here already, and it's only the top of the 5th inning.
He has been swinging the bat well so far. Three hits and 3 official at-bats now for Robert Mullen. That pitch is there for a strike. 1-1. Pardon me, 0-1. Janice delivers in the air. This one slicing towards the line. Lawrence, long run towards the wall, and that one will hop up and out of play in front of him. He had a long way to go out and left into foul territory.
I think he'd almost draw a circle where 3 fly balls now have landed for the Jackfish just in this area where nobody can get to. Right in that bullpen area down for the Majors, they've been able to place a couple balls there that would be tough catches in any situation.
Two-strike count here for Janice. Porcelato looking to keep the inning moving here for the Jackfish. And inside fastball will get away from the catcher. Everybody moves up 90 feet. And Janice heads back to the hill. Still looking to try and find something here in this at-bat.
When things go wrong, they just go wrong, Noah. That was a fastball that I think DeOlio would tell you he should probably be able to squeeze, but when your pitchers have been all over the place all day, now you get somebody with a little more velocity. I'm sure he is just exhausted back there trying to chase some balls.
You kind of get it in your head as well that you just don't know where the ball is going to go. 2-0 is in, or pardon me, the 2-2 inside. And the count now full. Porcelato working a good at-bat here for Welland. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Porcelato thought he had the walk. And it's a strikeout for Skylar Janice.
Good curveball there by Janice, just catching the inside part of the corner. Clearly, Porcello was looking for something different, wasn't looking for that to cut. He thought it might have been just a little inside, might have had a little gripe, but the Majors will take it 2 down in this top of the 5th inning.
Pitch to the plate, swung on and missed by Grayson Barrett. We do have some more action down in the Majors bullpen. Trying to catch a number on who that may be. Janice looking to get through this inning here for London as that one is fouled off and it's quickly 0-2. You get up 0-2 here, you've got some room, some options to go to. Don't have to go right at him. Give him something he can hit. 0-2 as Janice grabs his sign. Just off the plate with a fastball.
Good patience by Barrett there. Might have actually just worked out that he was maybe a bit surprised by the fastball, because that was a very good pitch just off the outside part. If he was taking it all the way, that's a great take. If he was surprised, then that's just the way it works sometimes. Sometimes you get away with getting surprised.
And now fights one off over to second base, but Kurzminski there. And the Jackfish retired. Not before 3 more runs come across here on the top of the 5th. And a now 12-0 Welland Jackfish lead here through 4.5 at the ballpark.
We're getting to the point where this just becomes a piece together for the Majors. How can we get through this game without completely hurting our chances on the weekend, without completely running through every pitcher that we have? They really need somebody to give them some length, to get them into the 8th inning so they don't have to waste 5 or 6 arms, even if they don't play again until what, Saturday?
Yeah, the Friday night in Hamilton, Saturday on the road. And I failed to mention they do actually have a Sunday makeup game in Chatham. So it is a fairly busy weekend for the Majors as well. They need some arms, and you know what? They admittedly will need Skylar Janice in a more competitive environment than what is a 12-0 Jackfish lead. So we did see some action down in the Majors bullpen. We'll wait and see who is back out there, or who will start if a new pitcher comes in for the top of the 6th inning. Right now, it is back, and Ortega is on the hill for the Jackfish. Teodoro Ortega, his first start here for the Fish, and I've been really impressed with his stuff. It's so tough to get to see what a guy really has when they have a 9-0 lead, a 12-0 lead. But he's handled himself well so far, and you can certainly see the ability for Ortega.
Yeah, you can see what the Rangers were looking at when they drafted and signed this guy and allowed him to get to high A. There is a lot of potential there. It says 6 foot, 145. I think that 6 foot might be on the hill. I don't think he's quite 6 foot, but anyways, he looks phenomenal. The fastball has been very good, and he's been able to work around what has been a tough situation just with the time in between innings. Even that last inning, I would say that was a solid 15 to 20 minutes for the Majors pitching in that last half inning. And that takes a toll on your body, takes a toll on your arm. Once your body cools down, you just get tired. That adrenaline's gone from your body. So he's done a very good job. I have been very impressed as well, as the Jackfish might have found themselves a good piece of that rotation.
Aided a little bit here by the kind of hot and humid weather. I know I always found it a little bit easier to stay loose on a night like tonight. But he's done a great job here, and now he'll work ahead with a first pitch fastball to Drew Lawrence.
And easy to do with a 12-run lead, but you got to stay after the hitters, and he's been doing that very well. He hasn't slipped away from that strike zone too much.
There again. Second straight fastball, and it's 0-2 to Lawrence.
And not just fastballs that are center cut, catching a lot of the plate. Fastballs that are right on that black, well located.
That one getting a piece of it as Lawrence fouled it off. Count stays at 0-2. I always liked as well a pitcher that works with a good pace on the hill as well. Ortega gets the ball back, and he's ready to grab his sign. 0-2 delivery. Curveball, chopped by Lawrence. He's got speed. Going to have to be a strong throw across the diamond and in time. Jonah Weisner got it there, and there's one gone.
Very good play by Weisner there. We haven't seen too many defensive plays by the Jackfish, but that was a great one. Sitting back again on his back foot, kind of like we saw the Majors in the first inning, was having to make a strong throw with a speedy Lawrence getting up that line and got him, by a foot and a half. That was a tremendous play.
So Starling Joseph, his second time batting tonight. Second time in the ballgame. He is 0 for 1 so far. Curveball to him. Misses inside. Didn't break enough. Robert Mullen, a quick look back there at the home plate umpire, just to check where that one might have missed. Inner edge 1-0. Now again, Ortega. Fastball, and he blew it right past Starling Joseph, 1-1.
That's not an easy feat. Starling Joseph with a very good bat, very quick bat, some good bat speed there. So it just kind of shows you what Ortega is throwing at these Majors hitters. They still have not quite been able to figure it out.
Trying to get him to bite on that breaking ball, a low and away. But a good eye there by Starling has moved the count to 2-1. First time I think we've seen Ortega go with a healthy breaking balls to Joseph, but now a fastball inside. He'll pop it up to second base, and the catch made by Dawson Tweet for out number 2.
Just jammed there was Joseph, probably leaking out a little bit, as you mentioned. A good dose of off-speed pitches there. And he got a fastball. He was leaning out over the plate a little bit, jammed himself, a little easy pop-up.
Brad Verhoeven now, the batter with 2 outs here in the inning.
I don't know how many kids are still watching this broadcast at this hour of the night.
This one popped up. Playable in foul territory. And we'll get back to that thought after the break. Mr. Middleton, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ortega and the Jackfish. We're through 5 here at the ballpark. Jackfish leading 12-0.
Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Yeah. Can't answer my phone now. Just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
The prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
We are back here at Labatt Memorial Park here in downtown London, and it is a 12-0 Welland Jackfish lead. Thank you for joining us here tonight. This has been a continuation of a game that started back in June, and now the Majors in a bit of a hole. Here we get to see a new arm for the Majors. This is Tyler Gillies, former Brewers farmhand and back into the IBL. Did pitch with the Brantford Red Sox a number of years ago in their organization. Has signed with the London Majors prior to the signing deadline. And you know what? I think getting into this ballgame, Tyler, well, at least give him the opportunity to throw in the pinstripes and get some innings under his belt in an environment that, as we said, it's a 12-0 lead. There's no shying away from it here. They're looking for someone to come in here and try and close the gap. Dupuis will lead things off here for the Jackfish, who've scored 9 runs in the top of the 4th, 3 runs in the top of the 5th. for a 12-0 lead so far. First pitch is fouled back and out of play.
2 years in the minors for Gillies, and I'm looking at a 4.28 respectable ERA in 65 games. Spent some time in Quebec, spent some time in some other places. A good veteran live arm for the majors here to be able to use, and he's definitely come in looking the strongest out of the 4 majors pitchers tonight.
Curveball there gets him up 0-2 here on Dupuis. Grabs his sign from the catcher, Deolio. Big leg kick, breaking balls, swing and miss, and Deolio will complete the out to first base. There is one gone on a strikeout for Gillies.
And that's more like it from the London Majors. Gillies coming in, throwing strikes, throwing well, showing a little bit of veteran presence here, something the Majors really need. They would love for him to get through at least a couple, 3. Heck, even to the end of the game would be great.
I don't know how much we will see from Gillies tonight in terms of innings, pitch count, if there's anything there for the Majors. Pitched in affiliated ball for a number of years. Played college out at UBC. Here is the pitch from Gillies. Swing and a miss on a healthy fastball there. And it is 1-1 here to Dawson Tweet. One delivery. Curveball dropped it in there. And it's 1-2. And he is pitching with some energy here. A welcome addition for the Majors from what they've seen so far tonight. Shakes off Deolio. Now grabs the sign he wants. Curveball. Chopped over to second base. Coming on. Throw to second is in time. And there are 2 gone. And it looked like we did have a defensive replacement as well. That's Jagan Chanderdat taking over at second base. And I'm not sure if that's a direct swap out. Either way, there's 2 gone now. Gillies working well, has got himself 2 quick outs.
Exactly what the Majors needed. They need to get it back into that dugout in some kind of quick order and maybe make Ortega do something he hasn't had to do in the past hour and a bit, and that's, pitch in short order.
Each of his last 2 innings, he's had probably at least 15, if not closer to 20-plus minutes between innings. That one there for a strike, 1-1.
Hunt definitely has one of the weirder batting stances I've ever seen.
Well, Crouch holds the bat low, waits, and offered at that pitch. No, they appeal down to first base, and James Deacon says no swing. 2-1. Fastball up in the zone and got off the glove of Deolio into the backstop. 3 balls and a strike now as Hunt looks to try and find his way on with 2 outs here in the inning.
If I was going to invest anything for you, I think it would be a radar gun, because I'm really interested as Gillies come in here, and he's throwing very hard.
Fastball misses low and away, and it's a 2-out walk here for Ethan Hunt to put a runner on for the Jackfish here on the top of the 6th. After 2 quick outs for Gillies, unable to get Hunt.
Normally, I would say not a good situation for the Majors walking a lower in the order hitter and allowing this inning to continue. But really, they got 2 outs and only 1 runner on, and that's been something that hasn't happened in the last couple innings. You're just looking for one of those elusive zeros.
Morello, crouch stance left-hand side, awaits as the pitch misses upstairs from Gillies.
Majors bullpen up and moving again, as you can kind of expect. I don't think Gillies has thrown very much in recent times, so he probably doesn't have a very long leash. But it's been nice to see him, but nice to see a little bit of a more veteran presence from the Majors, and maybe something that can bridge into something better for the last couple innings of this ballgame.
2-0 delivery inside, and he's lost the zone a little bit here as of late. 3-0 here to Gianfranco Morello.
Another thing that tells me he probably hasn't thrown very much in recent times, because as you get a little more tired, that arm starts to drag a little behind you. Your release point's not out front, and they tend to go up, and away, which is where we've seen a lot of these balls miss.
Gillies 3-0 right there for a strike.
It's amazing how that 3-0 fastball is some of the easiest fastballs to throw.
Always seem to find it on 3-0. Now we'll see if he can do it 2 straight times here and work it back to a full count. 3-1. Morello got a piece of that one out into the left center field gap. This ball carrying up, and that one is gone. No signal from the umpire, but it did go over the wall out in left center, and now the signal. A 2-run shot for Gianfranco Morello off the big arm from Gillies, and a 14-0 Jackfish lead.
What a phenomenal piece of hitting by Morello there, just staying on that pitch and driving it with some power to the opposite field gap. That takes a lot of strength, and I'm sure the velocity of Gillies helps you a little bit there, but at the same time, that takes a lot of strength and bat control to get the ball and drive it over the fence like that. And just like that, the Majors looking very promising in this inning, turns in a heartbeat.
5th homer of the season for Morello. First pitch missing to Jonah Weisner. He's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Breaking ball, outside edge for Gillies, gets the strike. One and one here for the big right-hander. And now that one slipped out of his hand. You could tell right away he didn't like the release on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Gillies again grabs his sign. Here is the 2-1 delivery, and that's not good. He didn't feel comfortable with that throw. And Roop Jannerdat out of the dugout. His teammates will come on. I don't know if is that an injury discomfort?
It definitely looked like it. Looked like he might have. Yeah, he's stretching out that hamstring. It looked like he might have just landed weird. Maybe pulled a little bit of the hamstring there. Trying to work up a little too quick. He definitely does not look comfortable on that mound right now.
So the management staff and teammates on the hill checking on Gillies. And now the home plate umpire on to check on this meeting.
Doesn't seem to me like he's going to be able to stay in this ball game. And there's the handoff.
So he is not going to stay in the game. Training staff out there with Majors manager Roop Jannerdat. Now, if there is a silver lining to this, Majors did have the bullpen going, so they do have someone ready. We'll have a change and a new arm on the hill for London when we come back here on Majors TV.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Welcome back here on Majors TV as we continue with the action here on the top of the 6th inning. Christian Coombs is taken over on the hill for the Majors in a count that is now 3-1 after the injury. Now we're hoping isn't anything too serious and more precautionary than anything, as Tyler Gillies, who came on and a really quick start to the inning, 2 straight outs, ran into some trouble. A home run by Gianfranco Morello, and then landing, we think, Tyler, uncomfortably on that last pitch. He has left the ball game for precautionary reasons.
Yeah, with the way he was limping off that mound, it for sure looked like it was some kind of hamstring. Don't want to speculate. It for sure looked like a little bit of hamstring, maybe an ankle issue, something to do with that land leg.
So Christian Coombs into the game here. First pitch that he throws is there for a strike, but it works the count to full. And now a chance to try and get the Majors out of this inning. "3-2 is slapped the other way and foul down into the Majors bullpen.
As we continue the weird game we're having tonight, Wisner has a situation where he starts against a tall righty throwing hard and finishes the at-bat with a slower throwing lefty.
Trying to get aboard. Here's the 3-2. On the ground, over to first base. There's Cardoso to take it himself, and the inning is over. Another 2 runs here on the top of the 6th for the Jackfish. They've scored in each of the last 3, and a 14-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here in London. Majors looking to try and get on the bats, Tyler, and see if they can muster up any offense. 1 hit so far in the ball game.
They just haven't been able to muster anything against Ortega, who, as we've mentioned and as we've praised, has looked very good in this ball game and limited work so far. You got to get deep in at bats. You got to be able to just get guys on base. That is the most important thing right now. If you're going to try and make a push back into this ball game, if you're the London Majors, you got to have guys on in order for them to score. You cannot score on 14 home runs. But, you know, a couple hits, couple bloops, couple home runs, and all of a sudden you could be right back in this ball game.
Well, it's one of those things, and we've talked about it already here in the broadcast over the last few innings, ever since that 9-run top of the 4th for the Welland Jackfish. Baseball is a game that, you know what, is so habitual, right? You get into bad habits, you get into good habits. And when you find yourselves in a hole like this, no one's giving up. But at the same time, you kind of feel like this game has already kind of reached its conclusion. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you're keeping good habits at the plate, right? Good at-bats, good habits out in the field, playing good defensively, because those things will carry on and continue on as you move into a weekend where you're hoping you can put this game behind you, and you've got a big slate of games coming up here on this holiday weekend.
And when you talk about the momentum, or whatever big word you used in that sentence, habitual? Was
habitual.
That it? Yeah,
habits.
I don't know what it means.
I don't know if that's even right. It's habits.
I don't know. It starts with it. It's in the word, so it must mean it. But when you are the Jackfish or Ortega, you have such a lead. You're playing so loose that it's almost like you can do nothing wrong. Even if you give up a home run, who cares? If you hit somebody, who cares? When you're the Majors pitchers right now, you are holding that ball as tight as you can. You are as nervous as possibly can be, being that next guy, especially when you have a pitcher after pitcher after pitcher that just couldn't find that strike zone. What gets into your mind? I need to throw strikes. As soon as you're thinking I need to throw strikes, it gets significantly harder to throw strikes.
So Gibson Krasminski will lead off the inning here and grounds this one over to second base. 1 pitch, 1 out for Ortega here to begin the bottom of the 6th. That did not take long at all as Krasminski was aggressive on the first pitch he saw and just rolled it over.
Kind of the opposite of what we talked about. You need to be patient. You need to draw some at bats, make Ortega uncomfortable on that mound. Instead, kind of an easy rollover leads to the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
Big cut there on a fastball that was off the plate by Champ Garner. He falls into an 0-1 hole here. Ortega continuing to work well here for the Jackfish. Swing and a miss again. That time a little bit more inside. 0-2. Grabs his sign from Mullen. Curveball on the ground and base hit into left. 0-2 curveball over the plate. Champ Garner is aboard.
A good piece of hitting there. A little curveball that was left high. Gardner was able to get on top of it and just hit it hard, and it finds that hole for the first hit for the Majors since the 4th inning.
He'll take it. Back to the top of the Majors order, Ty Mosher. After the hit from the 9-hitter, Champ Garner. And the Wallflowers, a little bit of a chant here to try and get the Majors some life. And a big deficit here.
Something Ortega hasn't had to do in a while, and that throw from the stretch. You can almost see he looked a little uncomfortable there, something he hasn't done since probably his first pitch as he started the game in the 2nd inning with a 1-ball count.
Swing and a miss there. No walks, no hit batters for Ortega. It's just been the hits. 2 of them for the Majors. The only base runners he's had, and now this one. Hit hard in the air, right center, but it's going to hang up. Morello over into the gap. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 gone. Good piece of hitting there by Mosher, but just underneath it for the 2nd out. I'll bring Tristan Osika to the plate. See how he fares against Ortega this time around. That's a good piece of hitting, but it's on a line and right to the center fielder, Morello. Another clean inning here for Ortega. He's thrown 4 1/3 on 53 pitches, and the Jackfish cruising at a 14-0 lead here through 6 at the ballpark.
Hello, my name is Jim Nuther with Nuther's Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Game Day London broadcast booth. Tyler Middleton,
is that us?
Noah Smith, that is us.
Way
2
down.
big boys. 2 very big boys who are looking for some pizza. You know where you can find some great pizza, Noah?
Through thick and thin?
Through thick and
There
thin.
we go.
We were told
Look
by
at the
our
smile up on the faces up here.
We were told that we had to make sure we got in that sponsorship, so there we go. Naturally, as it is.
Producer Matt Hiscox tonight is a happy camper after all the sponsorship memos get taken care of. We are moving along here, and it has been it's been an ugly night for the Majors so far. 14-0, the Jackfish lead.
You can say that as we start the top of the 7th inning in what was already a shortened game due to rain about a month ago. Canceled yesterday. We're playing again today, and the Majors are looking to find some kind of pitching magic after a 9 spot in the 4th, a 3 spot in the 5th, a 2 spot in the 6th. A clean 0 would be great as the first pitch is in there for strike 1.
Moretto 0 for 4 in the ballgame. He hasn't had the luck that the Jackfish batters have had.
Comes to the plate with a slider that just misses on the outside part. 1-1.
Coombs finished off the last inning after the injury to Gillies, who we're hoping is just minor and precautionary.
Ball in the dirt, swallowed up there by Diolio. You know, the Majors just looking for something here, some kind of magic to get them through this ball game. Probably looking forward to what is a busy rest of the weekend as that ball is fouled back to the screen.
Day off tomorrow. The baseball continues after that on a Friday trip to Hamilton.
Two pitches popped up to the middle of the infield. Third baseman, everyone convenes in the middle. It will be the third baseman. That is Osika that is able to juggle it and make the catch for the first out. That did not look pretty as they all came together, and it was the third baseman, Osika, who was able to finally make the play.
Well, they got the out there, but for a second you thought this night couldn't continue on at this pace. And that ball dropped, could it? But they get the out.
It's almost a metaphor for the way it's gone for the Majors
really
so far. A little bit of a circus on the middle of the infield, but the out was made, and that's all that matters. One down as the catcher, Mullen, former Major, strolls to the plate. Fouled off to the third base side, right at the Majors' dugout. Quite a day for Mullen so far. If you count the one at-bat in the start, he is 3 for 3 with a home run and what would be, 4 RBIs?
4 RBIs, yeah.
It's a pretty good day at the ballpark. Pretty good 2 days if you really counted the ballpark, as that off-speed pitch goes around the plate, called ball. 1-1 is the count. One down here in the top of the 7th inning.
Morello, the leadoff man, he's got 3 RBIs, but Mullen, 4 accounted for.
Healthy hack at that pitch by Mullins. A little late on it, though. Strike 2 to the Majors pitcher, Coombs. One and two. Coombs gets the pitch he likes. Comes to the set. Leg rise into the plate. Fastball on the inside part. Swung through by Mullins. That's a swinging strikeout for Coombs. 2 down in the top of the 7th.
Blew it right by him, went to the inside part of the plate there and got the swing and miss from Robert Mullen. Strikeout, now 2 outs here for Coombs, who is looked to be dialed in so far out of the bullpen.
We saw this last inning as Tyler Gillies got 2 outs really quick, and then a walk, a home run, an injury, and the inning fell apart. But Coombs has been able to come in and look really settled, look very good. I would say the Majors pitching has almost got better as the night went. As that first pitch is a slider down to the dirt, called ball 1. Little half swing, dribble up the third base side. Waiting, and it's going to stay foul. Good job there by Osika, just trying to see if that lip would kick it back fair, as Porcello didn't move. He was still in the box.
That was an incredibly smart play, and that was maybe an inch or 2 away from catching the line and catching the bag out front of the bag.
Have you ever seen that work before?
I've seen it work the other way many, many a times, but to come back into fair territory, no.
Curveball is fouled off, back into the parking lot.
But you're right. Porcello, he was not running. And even after he saw that ball hit the grass and start to come back, he still wasn't running.
The 1-2 pitch is a slider taken well. Good set of peepers there by Porcello, as that is taken down in the dirt to even up the count. 2-2. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're set for the payoff pitch. Fastball outside, full count.
Great eyes here by Porcello. He has worked this count now away and got it back to a full count here with 2 outs. Try and extend the inning here for the Jackfish.
Very important by Coombs here. He's got to figure out a way, a clean inning, 3 up, 3 down would look great on the resume as he comes set looking for that. Leg up in the pitch. Fastball just outside, and I mean just outside, is taken for ball 4.
That did not miss by a ton on the outer edge. But we mentioned the good eyes from Portolato and takes that pitch just outside. Works himself a 2-out walk. And it'll bring up Grayson Barrett. Looking to try and add some offense here for the Jackfish.
First pitch from Coombs is outside. That's going to be ball 1. And that's something we've seen all day here for the Majors pitchers. There hasn't been a whole lot of getting ahead in the count. That first pitch is so important to just putting that hitter off a little bit, and they just have not been able to do that today. Mobile pitches a slider, dribbled up the first base side, and that's going to end up foul. That's not taking anything away from the Jackfish either. They have done a very good job at taking what was given to them. The Majors pitchers struggled, so they didn't swing. When they did get fastballs that they could do damage with, they were able to, as that ball is hit into the right field corner. Swallowed up by Joseph. He gets the ball in quick, but that's not going to be in time to keep the runner at second. We're going to have runners on the corners here with 2 outs. And again, a Majors inning that starts with 2 quick outs turns into trouble as there's Jackfish on the corner.
Barrett gave that one a pretty good ride into right field. Fell in front of Starling Joseph kind of as he made his way towards the line. And you mentioned it there. It started really well for Christian Coombs, and now the walk, the hit. And there's a runner 90 feet away from scoring now with 2 outs.
Dupuy at the plate, drives it to right field. Got a beat on it as Joseph, and he makes the catch just on the warning track for the 3rd out. And that elusive 0 for the London Majors.
Well, great job there to work out of it after a walk and a hit with 2 outs. Coombs gets the final out of the inning. And hey, would you look at that? A 0 on the board beside the Welland name in the 7th inning.
It almost would have looked more poetic to have a 9-3-2-1, just work your way back down, but I think we'll take the 0. There's no complaints about the 0. I'm going to take the 0.
Stretch time here at the ballpark in London, and it is a 14-0 Welland lead. It has been all Jackfish so far tonight. Majors running out of time to get some makeup games in. We mentioned this game originally scheduled for last night when the rain moved through the area. They pushed it to the night. But after that, they were kind of out of luck. They're on the road this weekend. If you're wondering why, the Ontario Summer Games are in London this weekend. Some of the baseball games taking place here at Labatt Park. I believe Dan Pullum Field and Aldridge Field also hosting some of the competition. 15U age level.
Did you ever have the pleasure?
I did not. I did not have the pleasure of playing in a summer games.
I was able to in my 15U year. I was up in Sudbury playing for the Western Ontario Bulls. We actually put up at the time the best performance by a Western Ontario team, going 2-1, just missing out on the quarterfinal round due to run differential. Probably had something to do with the fact we gave up 32 runs to the Coba team in that one loss. And
those Coba teams always seem to be top of the pack.
You know, I was a team with Malik Collymore, who I know played in the IBL. That had Robinson, that had the Naylor brothers. That team was good. There is no shame in losing. Maybe not by 32, would have been great, but no shame there.
It gives you a good story to tell on the air at a later time.
Is it a good story?
Hey, listen, to this day, I still tell the story about how I got Josh Naylor to pop up. It was to deep right field, but it was so high that I call it a pop-up.
But you know what? It was honestly one of the best memories I have of playing baseball was being able to travel with that team and play. You know, there's opening ceremonies, which I know are taking place here in London as well, obviously. Closing ceremonies, you get to go to a village and be with the other athletes as 15-year-olds. It was a really cool experience. So if you do have the opportunity, as that ball is popped up into the third base side, it's going to find the seats to take us to a 1-ball, 2-strike count. So if you have the opportunity and you're in the London area, please make it down, see some of those games, support some of these young kids who are having the absolute time of their life this weekend. I can guarantee you that.
Well, not just baseball as well. I mean, just to kind of cross promote everything. The Ontario Summer Games are, well, it's essentially a mini Olympics. So lots of events to check out in the London area.
The pitch from Ortega is taken just outside by the hitter Cardoso to even up the count 2-2. Yeah, tons of amazing. We were able to go see some of the swimming, some of the running as well. Made some friends from around the province. Ball's way outside, taking us to a full count. And not very often does it get to the area around you. Of course, like I said, mine was in Sudbury. My brother played in one that was in Windsor.
London hosted one about 3 years ago.
Into the parking lot goes that baseball. We stay full. And I don't know what they are now. I believe they were free for spectators back in the day. Maybe you can check that because that might have changed.
It still is free admission. And I think that goes for all sports.
Ortega's wind up and pitch, and the full count is fouled off again to the third base side. There's a good little battle being put up here by Cardoso, something that the Majors desperately needed. A little bit of fight. If you're just joining us, you've missed a whole lot. 14-0 here for the Jackfish in this rescheduled ball game. Full count pitch is fouled back to the screen once again, and we will do it encore.
Yeah, talk about a battle at the plate. A 7-pitch at bat, full count, and a couple of fouls now for Cardoso.
3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. A good battle there by Cardoso, but doesn't end the way he wants it with a swing and strike for Ortega.
Now Ortega continues to throw the ball well. 4 2/3 innings pitched. He's thrown. It's the guy who, quote-unquote, started this game for the Jackfish with an out or 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. And he has been rolling since. Trying to get through another inning here.
Fastball's fouled back to the screen for the first strike by the catcher, Diolio. Ortega's 1-strike pitch. A curveball hit to center field. It's dropping, and it finds some grass. Perfectly placed little pop-up fly ball there by Dolio leads to a Majors hit.
Well, that is one of the benefits of being a big power threat at the plate. The Jackfish outfield was playing him deep. Morello out in center field had a long way to go to get that ball. That ended up dropping in front of him. Tweet and Dupuis up the middle. They didn't have a chance to get it.
Now Drew Lawrence steps into the plate. One of those hitters thrown into the lineup after our restart. First pitch taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Still some good velocity from Ortega. Not quite what he had earlier in the game, but I don't blame him. That was about 2.5 hours ago.
And this actually is not Drew Lawrence. Pinch hitter into the game is Jagan Chanderdat.
My apologies. Chanderdat at the plate. Fouls that off. 2 strikes.
One of those games where you do see some of the bench players get their chance in.
2-strike pitch, blown right by him, 2 down.
3 quick pitches there, and Ortega makes quick work of Chanderdat, the pinch hitter. And now Starling Joseph will come to the plate. With 2 outs and a runner aboard, Deolio went first with the single.
Joseph, one, of course, of the Majors stars, comes to the plate. 2 out, 1 run on. First pitch looked like some kind of off-speed pitch, maybe a changeup. Either way, taken high and in for ball 1.
Starling, yeah, he's putting together another good year here for the Majors. average just at 273, 4 long balls, 23 RBIs so far to start the summer.
That ball's hit hard, but it's gonna hook foul by quite a bit. Little Joel put it there by Joseph. Still a long strike.
Yeah, long strike indeed, but he ripped that ball. He's just out in front of it by quite a bit. Ends up past the big tree in the parking lot down the left field line. 1-1.
Tega shakes, finds the one he wants, comes set, checks on the runner. 1-1 pitch to the plate. Fastball inside part, blown right by Joseph. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the hitter. And something we've seen quite often as well from these majors hitters, they haven't been able to time up this Ortega fastball.
Well, I think the thing that keeps you off from timing it up properly is that he does have that good off speed. So you kind of keep that in the back of your head. But the fastball has been the #1 weapon so far.
2-strike pitch, fouled right back at us. Thank goodness there was some kind of net there because I wasn't making the play.
I might have been.
I don't trust you to make the play either. We would have been in trouble.
We've seen each other play the game. We don't. Yeah.
You could throw it back.
Trust.
I have all the trust in the world. You get it back to him.
There's a long way to get that back to the mound here.
Can't quite find the one he wants. He settles on it. Comes set. And the 1-2 pitch. Slider taken down and away by Joseph. Evens it up, 2-2.
Looking to try and find a good pitch to hit and extend the inning is Starling Joseph. Ortega, he's looking to put an end to this inning for the Majors.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. That sits down Joseph for the 3rd out of the 7th inning. We're heading to the 8th here at Labatt Memorial Park. We'll be right back.
Let me into my zone. Let me into my zone. Let me into my zone. Please don't let me in. Can't answer my phone now. Just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up 'cause I'm back in my zone now. 'Cause I'm back in my zone now.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park as we continue on in what has been a blowout of a game for the Jackfish. 14-0 they lead. Some cornhole and some very competitive, by the looks of it, cornhole going on down at field level. Should we call the cornhole match here?
It's almost more interesting to the ballgame at this point, to be honest with you. Oh, not too bad of a bag there.
Bad.
Is that what you call it? A bag?
A bag, a toss. Not too bad of a toss. Braden Farrington is taking over on the hill, back on the ball diamond. Looking to try and keep the Majors going. And the first time they put up a 0 on the board was back in the top of the 7th since the 3rd inning, which was our first inning here tonight. And now Farrington has come on. It was a good inning, and I think a 3rd there by Christian Coombs.
A very good job by Coombs, actually. He looked very good, looked very settled. Good left-handed pitcher.
And now Braden Farrington, as mentioned, will come out of the bullpen here for London. 14 runs for the Jackfish. They have really put the offensive pedal down here in this ball game on the strength of a 9-run top of the 4th. And for anyone who maybe a stats junkie at home, not the highest total of the season for the Jackfish. Just last week, they put up a 23 on the Brantford Red Sox.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not going to get there.
I would like to hope not. Majors still scoreless here as this one ripped to right field. It's going to get down in front of Starling Joseph. Some hard contact to open up the top of the 8th inning. Dawson Tweed aboard.
Tweed clearly looking for a first pitch fastball. He got it and he didn't miss it, hitting it hard to the right fielder. Joseph, he was able to wrangle it up and get it back into the infield, keep him to just that single. But once again, Majors pitchers finding themselves in a bit of a situation early.
Ethan Hunt now, the batter. Farrington, a pitcher traditionally that pitches to contact. Let's guys put it in play. Now he'll look for a double play ball with the leadoff man aboard here with a single. That one's there, curveball for a strike, 0-1.
And I don't want to just say that, I don't want us to just put this on the Majors pitchers. That I want to give some praise to the Jackfish hitters as well. They have done a very good job at making those pitches count that they were able to hit and hitting them hard. Being able to, hit 2 balls over the fence doesn't hurt either. And when they're not throwing strikes, you don't swing at balls.
14 runs did come on 12 hits. Pair of long balls for the Jackfish here. Just off the plate with the curveball from Farrington, and it's 1-2. There is a look down into the Welland bullpen. For the first time tonight, some action there. And maybe the end of the night for Ortega. Here is the pitch from Farrington. In there, called strike 3. Strikeout for Farrington. Got Hunt looking, and there's one gone.
Good pitch by Farrington there. Looked like some kind of off speed, maybe a changeup or a splitter. Don't know which one he throws off the top of my head, but it was a very good pitch. Tailed back into the right-handed hitter. Was able to catch a good part of the plate as we have a pinch hitter.
So it looks like, as you mentioned there, we do have a pinch hitter into the ball game. And the Jackfish here and some extra hitters in. One out here in the top of the 8th inning. Big cut there. And it is 0-1.
I might be biased here, but I think this ballpark at night with all the buildings lit up behind it is one of the prettier sights you'll see in all of the IBL.
No bias there. Would second that. Big swing and a miss. I'm hoping it's 0-2 count. Farrington, he let the leadoff man reach on a hard hit single into right field. Strikeout for out number 1, and now he's up 0-2. And here is the delivery. In the air, left field. Little bit over to the left, and that ball falls off the glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
Chanderdad, I believe, out there now newly.
I think he's at second base trying to figure out who is in left. Gibson Kurzminski, who was the second baseman, is moving out to left. And that ball dropped. So an error charged against Kurzminski. Farrington, first pitch missing low.
That is exactly what the Majors don't need right now when they're just trying to get through a ball game. Those outs need to turn to outs.
Off the plate again from Farrington. 2 balls and no strikes here on Jonah Eisner, who is 2 for 4 in the ball game. Ripped into the right center field gap. Long run going after it, and this one's going to bang up against the wall. In around third base and in to score is Dawson Tweed to add another Welland run here in the 8th inning. And 15-0 is the lead.
Just what we talked about, the Jackfish have hit the ball very hard tonight as Tweed is able to drive that ball hard up against the wall. And probably, 10, 15 feet away from the third home run for the Jackfish tonight. That ball was hit very well there by Weisner.
First pitch from Farrington will miss low. This is Stephen Moretto, the batter. The pair of runners in scoring position here. Swings through that one. It's one of the guys in this Welland lineup that really just hasn't had any luck so far tonight. Despite the 13 hits from Welland hitters. And a 1-1 count now. Farrington, the righty, delivers off the end of the bat into shallow center field. Coming on, catch made by Champ Garner. The runners will hold at second and third, and there's 2 gone.
Good job by Farrington there. Sometimes, an error followed by a hard hit baseball can kind of rattle you a little bit. Made a good pitch there, a little off-speed pitch that was just lazily popped up to center field. And a good job by Garner getting underneath it and making a good throw, holding the Jackfish at third base.
Pinch hitting number 25, Tyson Gong.
And another pinch hitter here for the Jackfish. As that one is chopped and foul. One more run here in the inning so far for Welland. And now a 15-0 lead. Tyson Gom is the batter. Ripped into right field. That one will get down. A base hit. In to score to make it a 16-0 lead. Weisner will hold at third.
The right fielder, number 10, Mateo Portolano.
So Mateo Portolato, the batter here. This inning continues on for the Jackfish. First pitch strike from Farrington. And it is 0-1. That one slipped out of the hand. Breaking ball from Farrington. 1-1 here.
We've seen that quite often tonight, just breaking balls slipping out of the hands of Majors players. I'd like to say maybe it was just the humidity or the baseballs, but Ortega really hasn't had that problem, I don't think.
Low in the zone. Doesn't get the bite from Portolato. And it is 2-1.
Another arm up the Majors bullpen at this. At this pace, they are just eating through arms. Hopefully, the good news is, besides Gillies, who, of course, left with that injury, a lot of them have been, 1 inning, 1 1/3.
This one hit hard and into right center.
So you would like to think that the Majors pitchers will be able to hop back up on the weekend, which is a busy weekend for the London Majors, and still be able to throw. But, even the up-downs put a toll on that arm.
Gone moved up to third on the single by Portolato, and now a 17-0 Welland lead. Grayson Barrett at the plate. And he'll get another base hit ripped into right field. And the hit parade continues here for Welland. And he did not waste any time on that one. 18-0.
I would like to retroactively knock on wood with my we're not getting to 23.
It has been that kind of night. Daniel Gore now throwing in the Majors bullpen, I believe. Called strike.
If there's one thing Farrington has done, he has come in throwing strikes. He has come in making the Jackfish hit the baseball. It's just they've done that. They've been up to the challenge all night.
That one almost got away from the catcher. Count evened up at 1-1. Farrington 14 strikes to just 8 balls so far, but has given up the most hits of any Majors pitcher so far today. Swing and a miss. To go back onto that point, the most innings from Major in this game were starter Jose Arias back in June. Besides that, an inning and a third from Christian Coombs. The cleanest inning and a third from any Majors pitcher so far tonight has been the longest, as that one fouled off down the line. Out of play, count 1-2, and it'll stay there.
Besides the erratic, maybe first 2 pitchers in this game for the Majors, I don't think the pitching has been that bad per se. Just been a very good offensive showing by Welland.
Missed down in the zone. Went to the breaking ball on 1-2. Dupuis with the eyes. Able to hold off. And fouled.
I'm sure not quite where Farrington wanted that curveball, as it doesn't break as much as he would like. Stays high, but fouled off to the fence. We get a 2-2 count again.
26 pitch inning now for Farrington. On the ground, third base. Hops up into the glove. Throw across the diamond is in time. And the inning is over. 4 more runs for the Jackfish here in the top of the 8th inning, and an 18-0 lead as we head to the bottom half. Not much to say in between innings here in the Game Day London broadcast booth.
Majors fans still willing them on. Still cheering. Still a decent crowd.
Well, you know what we haven't done yet tonight that would kill some time up here in between innings? Let's check out the out-of-town scoreboard. It is a runs kind of night in the IBL. Do you want me to give you some out-of-town scores here? Not quite. Welland in London.
You give me the game.
Hamilton is in Toronto at Christie Pitts.
Who's winning?
Hamilton is winning, and it is also a shutout.
So let's say that is a 12-0 ball game.
15-0 for the Hamilton Cardinals. Top of the 7th inning at Christie Pitts over the Maple Leafs. And in Guelph, it's the Royals taking on the Barrie Baycats. Now, both teams in this game have scored, but one team is up by 9 runs.
So I would say that that is looking like a 15-6 game.
Not quite that high. It is an 11-2 Guelph Royal lead at Hastings Stadium. Top of the 8th inning, Royals leading 11-2. It is a runs night in the IBL. I remember we did myself, Dylan Baker, we did kind of like I don't want to say it was a super deep dive, but we looked into Intercounty Baseball League stats and runs per game on midweek games compared to weekend games.
How bored were you that you got into this?
COVID, man. Everybody had all sorts of time. We started a podcast. What do you mean, did you have time?
A very successful podcast, if I do mention so.
But it was drastically different on weeknight game. It just seems to be, you got what is generally considered a working man's semi-pro league, and these weeknight games, they generally tend to be the higher scoring ones. No different tonight. Teams trying to save some of their better pitching for the weekend games. And now you end up in situations like this. 18-0, the Jackfish lead, bottom of the 8th inning as we get set to continue on here. Brad Verhoeven is the batter, and we did see as well a new pitcher into the game. It is the end of the line. The book is closed. Teodoro Ortega, the pitcher for the Welland Jackfish. What a great start. 5 1/3 innings. 71 pitches. Did not allow a run on just 3 hits.
A great outing by Ortega. I think that's exactly, if you were to ask Welland what they would want pre-game, I think they would tell you almost that exact line. That sets them up That sets him up very well for what is a busy week. He was able to get them deep into that ball game and hopefully save some arms, something that obviously the London Majors weren't able to do.
Danny Howard is the new arm on the hill here for the Jackfish. That second pitch was ripped pretty well by Verhoeven, but foul. Now in the dirt.
Are you surprised that Ortega's out of this ball game at only 71 pitches?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised. But he did, once again, we don't know. New guy on the team. Do they want to stretch him out? How stretched out is he? Howitt, the 3-1 delivery there for his strike to make it a 3-2 count against Verhoeven. And the Ballflowers chanting, "You're no fun." They wanted ball 4. Give them something to cheer about tonight. Fouled back into the screen by Verhoeven.
There's a select group of people having fun at this ball game today. It's the Welland Jackfish and it's the chanters.
Yes, the Ballflowers, as they are self-proclaimed. They are out here every game. They are cheering regardless. And tonight is a perfect representation of when I say regardless.
You got to have fun. No problem with that.
They are going to get their admissions worth of fun no matter what is happening on the other side of that netting here at Labatt Park. Howard to the plate. This one over to first base, coming over. Nice play there by Moretto, and there is one gone here to begin the bottom of the 8th inning.
Good job by Moretto there going and getting that baseball. For all you young baseball fans watching, you don't want to sit back on those. You want to go get that baseball, attack it. He did a very good job there and made it easy on himself for the first out.
Krasminski will come to the plate now for London. He'll be 0 for 2 in the ball game. Danny Howitt, one gone already here. He's on to pitch in the bottom of the 8th inning for Welland. And a first pitch curveball dropped in there for a strike, 0-1. Lefty gazing in there for the sign. Delivery, and that one swung through by Krasminski. It's 0-2. Howitt ready and delivers. Laced to center field. Right on it, a bead right away, and the catch for the out. There's 2 gone.
A couple of those for the Majors today where they've been able to hit the ball hard, but it just hangs up. Sometimes that's how it goes. The opposing team can hit the ball softly and it finds a hole. You hit a ball hard and it finds a glove. Just one of those nights.
That is baseball. Well, 2 gone. That'll bring up to the plate Champ Garner. 1 for 2. Had a base hit his last time around. Took an 0-2 curveball from Ortega and hit it into left field. But he swings right through that one. Howitt grabs the sign. Bottom of the zone, doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire. And it is now 1-1. High fastball, swing and a miss from Garner. 1-2.
Howitt's looked pretty good as well. Lefty working down that mound, throwing lots of strikes, not throwing quite as hard as Ortega maybe did, but getting the swings and misses and the outs nonetheless.
Took something off that one, it looked like, but it's fouled back by Champ Garner to stay alive at the plate. Fouled back again into the screen. Battle by Champ Garner here to stay alive and keep working. Howitt grabs his sign again on 1-2. Swing and a miss. Garner will walk back to the dugout, and that'll do it in the 8th. To the 9th we go here in London. 18-0, the Jackfish lead.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park as we move along to the 9th inning. There are still some fans sticking this one out. 18-0 is the Welland Jackfish lead, and Daniel Gore is into the ball game here to try and finish off the top half of the 9th inning.
And he is going to make something I don't think we see very often in IBL baseball. This is the 9th pitcher in 9 innings for the London Majors.
Yikes.
I don't know how deep the staff runs, but I'm guessing that's about it.
Yeah, there's probably not a whole lot of guys outside of starting pitchers, right? We haven't seen an Arias, we haven't seen a Keys, we haven't seen a Payano. Those guys are all lined up to start over the course of the weekend. In the bullpen, well, there's not much left.
I'm going to say this is Keys' game to end.
Yeah.
Or sorry.
Gore's game to end.
Yeah,
my apologies. This will be. They need him to get through this. It's Dawson Tweet to lead things off here for the Jackfish, top of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Daniel Gore. Jackfish have outscored the Majors by 18, out-hit them by 13. Fouled out a play by Tweet. And now they're looking to finish off the 9th inning for a trip back to Welland tonight. A big win for them. Here's the 0-2 from Gore. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strikeout for Daniel Gore. There's one gone here in the top of the 9th. And Gore, another guy, Tyler, that you just get put into a situation here where you just got to do your job. Go out there and work a clean inning for yourself. Get the Majors through it here and look forward to hopefully a more competitive setting for the next time you take the hill.
And maybe a favorable situation for Gore here, because I'll tell you, more than likely, the Welland hitters aren't too into it right now. Not saying they're giving up, but saying their at-bats might not be as intense as if this was a 4-1 ball game.
This one hit into center field, and right there to make the catch is Champ Garner. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th inning.
The center fielder, number 21, Brandon Holt.
So this will be Gore, who's working well. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th inning. That one hit pretty hard, and now a chance to have a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. First pitch strike, and he's ahead 0-1. Top of the order for the Majors due up in the bottom of the 9th. Curveball there, strike 2.
Gore's done exactly what he needs to do. He's come in here pounding the strike zone, and he's been rewarded for it.
0-2. A little leg kick there, and swing and a miss on the curveball. Cleanest inning of the ball game for the Majors pitching staff comes in the top of the 9th. Daniel Gore, 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts.
And that's the kind of thing that earns you better innings later in the year. That's something that builds a little bit of trust between you and the coaching staff when you put up what is a very good inning. That was 7-10 pitches maybe, something like that. 2 strikeouts, a little fly ball to center field. That's something that's going to earn you possibly some high leverage innings later on, something you need to think about.
Yeah, a little 8-pitch inning there for Daniel Gore in the top of the 9th inning. And yeah, as you mentioned, an 18-0 lead. There's no shying away that maybe not as competitive as at-bats as we would think, but still looked really good out there. Curveball was breaking, fastball looked good, and 2 strikeouts to go along with it. So it is the bottom of the 9th here. As the Majors look to try and get anything going. And a new arm on the hill for the Welland Jackfish, trying to bring you who that is.
A good color commentator would talk through that. Would allow you to look stuff up while I was talking.
It has not been that kind of night. Our stats tell us that it is Brandon Markland on the hill, and I believe that's just who got announced over the loudspeaker here at Labatt Park. So he will be coming on for his 8th pitching appearance of the season for Welland. 6 of those have been starts, 22 innings pitched for him so far, and a 7.7 ERA. But into this ballgame to try and clean this game and take it to its conclusion here for the Jackfish. 3 outs away from a bus trip home and a big win. And we've got a pinch hitter coming into the ball game for the Majors as well. So in the spot that was Ty Mosher, we will get Williams into bat. Takes a first pitch strike. And in a hole 0-1.
Got to be ready to swing here. Something tells me the strike zone might open up just a wee bit.
Fouled that one back into the screen, but now in an 0-2 hole. Trying to put together a good at-bat here in the 9th. Oh, 2 pitch to Williams, and he swings through that one. The Jackfish will complete the put-out, and there is one gone here in the bottom of the 9th.
Free swinging at bat there by Williams. He clearly was trying to hunt a fastball and do some damage with it. Just wasn't able to come up with it. 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. What's been a 3-hour, 7-inning ball game so far.
Fouled back into the screen off the bat of Tristan Osika. 0-1 to him. Markland getting ahead. A lot of the fans here have, of course, cleared out and made their way back home here. Maybe summer holidays for the kids, but it is a work night for many.
That is for sure.
Including us.
Yes.
The fella's got to work in the morning. 0-2 count here on Osika.
Markland grabs his sign, comes set on the mound, and delivers. Slicing and fouled out of play. Almost a nice catch made down there. Looked like it just popped out of the hand.
Long weekend. I know there's no baseball for yourself.
Nope.
Any fun plans? Anything?
Going long weekend camping.
Where were you heading
quick
there?
little trip up to Wildwood, just outside of St. Mary's. So if you are listening and you're heading that way, don't say hi to me. Let me have my peace and quiet. Is that grumpy old man talking?
It'll be a grumpy bear.
Grumpy bear up here in the booth. It is an 18-0 ball game after all. Here is an 0-2 pitch coming. Sliced and out of play again off the bat of Osika. Yourself, anything going on this weekend?
My father works up at and runs a car up at Sauble Speedway, so we're taking the girls up and we're going to do some camping on the infield. Hopefully not during the race. We'll wait till the conclusion before we throw up the old tent, but I might get in the car for practice. I doubt it, though. He just got it fixed. I don't want to break it again.
This 0-2 pitch is popped in the air out to left field. Catch made, and there is 2 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. One more out to go here on what has been a long night at the ballpark. And you can kind of say that on both sides of the ball. And I'll say that for you. I know you're a fellow that has been on both sides of that ball over the last few years. You've been up 18-0 against me, and then you came and joined me, and you've been down 18-0 before. And it's not really these games. I don't want to say they're not fun for both sides, but they're not. It's still not super enjoyable.
It sounds like you've been down 18-0 a lot. That's what it sounds like.
I have. I won't shy away from that.
No, it just becomes a very long baseball game. It's really hard to keep your intensity, to keep your focus when you get into these kind of ball games. You just kind of want to go home.
And not like being up 18-0 isn't fun, not what I was trying to say, but you're right. You kind of lose the intensity a little bit and just counting down the outs till it's over. This 1-0 pitch is outside to Caden Cardoso.
I've been very impressed by Welland so far tonight. I say so far as we got 1 out left, but I've been very impressed by them. They're a very good squad, of course, that I haven't been able to see. You might have seen them a little more than myself, but
pitching tonight has been real good for the Jackfish. Ortega, a good pickup as we touched on through his 4 1/3, I believe it was, total innings. Some good appearances. Howitt, and now Markland out of the pen, doing a great job. They are top of the IBL standings for a reason, looking to try and repeat the title here in 24. Outside, 3-1 to Cardoso. And one final chance here. You got to let them go home happy, right? You know, get them get one more chance in.
I kind of want to see what happens if there is a ball 4.
Ball 5 would continue. Well, you'll get to find out here as Cardoso takes a 2-out walk here in the 9th.
I've never seen anyone so happy with it. With a 2-out walk in the 9th, down by 18.
Eduardo De Olio will come to the plate now for the Majors after the 2-out walk to Cardoso. And that one misses.
I think that's ball 6. We'll find out in a second. It's confirmed.
That was a healthy cut from De Olio.
Probably would have been ball 7, too.
It was indeed. But he had another thing on his mind, and that was taking an all-out cut at that 1-0 pitch up in the zone. Swing and a miss from De Olio. And London down to their final strike here tonight. Markland ready. Delivers and fouled back by DeOlio. 1-2. Cardoso at first. Markland, the pitcher here for the Jackfish, has come on in the 9th. Looking for the final strike, the final out here of the inning and the ball game. Outside with a breaking ball. 2-2. Oh, funny the way baseball seems to work. It had some uncompetitive at-bats through the 8th, the 7th, and now when you're down to the final one,
nobody wants to be
the last one. 2-2. Chopped away by DeOlio.
Although something tells me DeOlio is not looking for a little line drive single here.
No, he's not looking to keep the line moving.
That 0 is either going to turn to a 2 here or the ball game is going to be over. It's one of the two options.
Fans that are still left in attendance, they would love that. Markland ready on 2-2. DeOlio holds, and the count is full. Trying to keep it away from him here. Last few pitches have all been on the outside portion of the plate. They don't want to give DeOlio something on the inside portion by the looks of it. Here's a 3-2. They set up inside this time. Popped up on the infield. And the ball game is over. The Jackfish roll into London to finish up a game that was rained out back in June, and they put up 18 total runs on 7 innings at the plate. A fantastic performance by the Jackfish bats, some good pitching as well. And they roll into London, picking up the win against the London Majors. Well, it's going to be a big weekend for the Majors here. The games continue for the Jackfish. This was the first of 5 games in 5 days. You get late in the season like this, and wins start to become important. The Jackfish looking to distance themselves from second place, and they put on an offensive showing here tonight.
You could have asked for anything better if you were the Welland Jackfish. They roll in, they put up 18, they leave happy. If you're the London Majors, Friday's a new day. Saturday's a new game. Sunday's a new game. These ball games happen over a long season, unfortunately, so just turn that page and go and hunt yourself for a win.
So the Majors unable to get the win here tonight. It's the Jackfish victorious, 18-0. The final score on 16 hits for Welland, 3 hits, an error, and no runs for the London Majors. That does it for our coverage here tonight on Majors TV. Thank you for tuning in from our entire crew, and we will see you next time from Labatt Memorial Park.